Hello there. Now, I had a formative experience today. Would you like to know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. My cat fell asleep on me. It was like about an hour and a half ago. I was like, oh, I've just finished everything. I just had some cheesecake. I was sitting there, and then all of a sudden, little Cookie came up, and he fell asleep on me. So I had no choice but to surprise nap. That is why I'm late to stream. I had no choice, right? This is not something that I have any control over whatsoever. And that is why I am slightly late to stream today. So that is what's up. It is what it is. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? What's up, Uno? So now I'm waking up a little bit because I did actually pretty hardcore nap. I'm tired these days. I can nap. I didn't used to be able to nap nearly as good. But yeah, when a cat falls asleep on you, there's really not a lot of choice. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Yo, hi, Mavino. You guys, Uno, do you have cats or dogs? Are you a dog person or a cat person? This is the question. I've been a dog person my whole life, but recently I've been living with cats, and they are adorable and very soft, extremely soft, and they're like alluringly soft, you know? Mavina, yeah, I've seen your cats before. Yo. Hey, Mavina. Morning, Rated. How you doing, Kay? Yo, what's up, Kilcha? Hello. You love cats? You don't have any? You have 2 dogs. Gotcha, gotcha. I still think in my heart of hearts I'm a dog person, to be honest, but I'm learning how to be a cat person. They are extremely cute. Oh, I want to pin this today because Guardian Druid Threat Solution. What's up, Moth? Threat Solution. Let's call it Aggro. Aggro Solution now live here. All right. I made a video yesterday that I think will really, really help people. I tried to make a thumbnail for it, which I am not the best at. It took way too long for me to try to come up with whatever I was trying to come up with. But it is an extremely helpful video. I have basically made an 8-minute free video for Guardian Druid Threat. It's like incredibly impactful. You know what I mean? So let me just link that, because if you haven't seen it, you might really enjoy it. All right, here we go. Cool. Bam. I don't really like this in your face licking and rough paw hugs that dogs bring. Not all dogs are like that, though. Some dogs are a lot more chill than others. Like, I think, in my opinion. Manually unpinned. Sounds good. Today, the indomitable human spirit will overcome the cold, uncaring universe. They do that every day, Maxtradamus. That happens every day indeed. Cool. I think it's just us, so what key? I got 19 prio, but we already did 19 prio. So we can do whatever we would like. I'm good with whatever. Doesn't bother me. 19 prio it is, it looks like. Would anybody like to come do 19 priority? Pretty chill, pre-patch stuff. Just messing around. Alrighty then. We'll see what we can find. We back living that second class citizen. Something like understanding. You see, now you're getting it. That's correct. Even if I could get past that, you have to walk them rain or shine or so I understand. Yeah, there's a difference, but with cats you have to clean their litter box and stuff. Yeah, I'll still macro. Yeah. I will still macro Guardian Druid tonight. It's chill. I like it. It's what I like to do. Warlock Jason, sure. A double Warlock key. He's a double Aflock key. Do I do that? You can't do that. Oh, no, he declined. Never mind. I was about to take him. What's up, noob? Good morning, good morning. We will listen to whatever music I so desire today. Unsure what it is that I do or do not want to do. We can take whoever. I don't really mind, no. No rain on top of your litter box. That's very fair. That's very fair. I think that all pets require a certain amount of work, you know. We'll do your, to make the ECG, do your... Did you have to get that done, noob? Just shaving and then put it on half there. You didn't... Oh, no, noob. Unfortunate. You have a 19 flood. Didn't we do that yesterday? Yeah, we did. Yeah, either one. I think I did that one yesterday. Can. Taking it off was painful. Oof. I've never gotten like an official, what is it, a waxing. I've never done that. So maybe that is, maybe it's not, I'm not sure. That does sound painful though. All right, here. Here, let me do this here. Copy link. All right. Let's go ahead and get this set up. We are once again playing with the wonderful Aflock Arson. Incredible Aflock player. And we'll see what we're doing today. I know he's been testing, but also I think he's just gaming too. I don't think he's... Neither of us are trying to like time keys necessarily. I just sort of want to get a better feel for pre-patch. And just kind of see how things are working, you know? Cleaning litter boxes isn't that bad. To be fair, it's not. I thought it would be worse. Hey, Veronica. I did think cleaning litter boxes would be worth. Veronica, you're a dog person? Or would you describe yourself as a cat person that has dogs? That is the question. I think Ginger came to say hi yesterday. I recognized the name. We are just seeing who's around and who we want, though. Are you on live? I am on retail, in fact. I am not playing beta. This is pre-patch. Indeed, indeed, indeed. I need help. So, can't decide the best nameplate size for the new default nameplates. I can tell you this. I was using default nameplates on beta, and they work just fine, Scooty. However, everyone is using Platinator. So, you might actually want to download Plater, like Platinator, and just start using that. Honestly, if you want a customizable thing, like that's probably the right idea, to be honest, is just to get that. Is there anything left to find out with beta? Yeah, a lot, super. There's a lot that I want to do on beta. I got to update my healer tier list number 1. What's up, Splotch? I have to update the healer tier list among other things. But hey, Veronica. Equal, to be honest, you have one of both. Ah, I was just watching your YouTubes. Hey, Slam. Veronica, I didn't know you streamed from a PS4. Is this correct? Is this what I had learned? When are you getting a computer? I didn't know you didn't have a computer. I just sort of assumed, you know. Why don't we just take this guy? Parzival. Sure. Oh, I made the group. I made group. We will be OCE. Want to reform? Do we want to reform? I don't mind. Does it matter to anyone? I think we'll be OCE ping. If it matters, we can reform. It doesn't bother me. I have never streamed from a console. I thought about it, though. Yo, what's up? Is Shawnee on the new channel? Oh, hey, Shawnee. I recognize the name. Not as good as you. Why the new channel? They're Deg 79. What was the inspiration behind this, though? All right, Arson says reform. Bet. Reapply. Rez, what's up, Rez? I thought about messaging you today. I'm not friends with you on B-Tag, but I was actually going to ask you if you wanted to play some keys, maybe. Hey, Rez. It's a PS5 and a gaming laptop. Oh. I just need a full PC to be able to stream. Yeah. But also, you're like a variety streamer, so you play many different games. I've been thinking I should maybe consider playing some different games, to be honest. I've thought about it. I was kind of thinking recently that I might consider playing some other games. As you know, I am a chronic World of Warcraft enjoyer. What's up, Ginger? You guys are both in here. You will recognize the person above you. Did I hear you say properly? Did you say you've never streamed from a coffin or a console? Both, technically speaking. Hey, Kira. Kira, do you ever want to do keys? I don't think I have either of you added on live. Cam froze. All right. Time to fix it. Yo, so I need to get a new camera, by the way. Yep. You guys will recognize each other. I need to get a new camera. I was thinking about this. Do you know by any chance what camera I should get? I'm serious. Like, I need to ask people because I'm willing to spend some money on it. However, like, I need to know what thing to buy. Like, do I get a Sony camera, which is pricey? Do I get, like, a webcam? Like, I don't know. Well, would you look who it is? Ah, you say Jacques. You see each other. Been playing WoW since TVC. I'll never use Plater. Minimal add-ons and now no add-ons. Fair enough. In which case, the default frames, I was using completely default. I didn't customize them at all. So I would not know how to answer that question, to be honest. Also, did you know you can have a little raccoon in-game? You can make a little raccoon pet. I don't know if you know this. I have all of them. But hey, Rez. I hope you're well, and I hope you're enjoying your keys. All right, I am back to lead, so we will list this. I believe Rain is busy healing Dal. I can ask Soap if he wants to come, though. Good luck in cam choice. Yeah, thank you. It is weirdly complicated. I don't know if you know this, but it is surprisingly not easy to figure out what camera to buy. I find this to be an interesting thing. Yeah, I have no idea. No clue, I tell you. No clue at all. Yeah, and keys, of course. Ah, thank you. Have a great stream. Thank you. I will attempt to. I'm tired because I accidentally took a nap. Like, it was not a purposeful nap, Mavina. It's just that my cat fell asleep on me. It was around noon, though. No, I haven't even messed with it, actually. The new transmog system, right? Because I'm a guardian druid, so my transmog is my bear form super. Camfro again? Again? Wow. Look at this, a double cam freeze. I gotta somehow let it freeze on a better point, I tell you. You know what's crazy is that this is actually a really nice camera. The camera I currently have. Yeah. Oh, who's the new Iceman? Ooh, like Bobby. When I was younger, I thought Iceman was so cool from X-Men, like the original X-Men. Not like the original, but like with, 2000s. What other games would I like to try? I have no idea, Veronica. I don't even know what's out there. I don't know. The Iceman has thawed. Timbo Slice. Sure. He's playing Holy Priest. Interesting. He moves again. Highness. I don't know what games I want to. What game should I try? I love the song. Yeah, I have no idea. What do you think I should try? Do you have any suggestions? What other games do you guys play? For the people who play WoW, what other games do you try? That's the curiosity thing, huh? Like, Scooty, do you play any other games? Something, do you play? Guild Wars 2. So it's another MMO. My problem with MMOs is that it does require hours and hours of investment. But I see people playing other games that are apparently very good, like Claire Obscura. I see people... You don't cheat on WoW. That's what it feels like sometimes, man. Warframe. Oh, hold up. This song right here. Now, this one's a classic. Depends on what type you're looking for. I love all kinds. I would say that surprisingly, I'm highly competitive. For somebody who actually tries to really say all the time that we don't need to do any which way or the other, I'm highly competitive. Like, I'm always the type of person who's like, you should play for fun. However, yeah, Skis, you want to come? Bet. You want? You want come, Skis? You want game? You want key? I should have messaged you. I mean, for $15 a month, if you're gonna combine forces, let's go. I can. You're in too straight. I have a DPS. I have 2 DPS with me. So if you and Rain want to come, that's fine. If you're playing with Dal still, I saw you guys playing with Dal earlier, then no, I cannot. But afterwards, if you and Rain want to come, then sure. $50 a month, I don't even look at other games. I don't really think about the price. Like, I'm not too stressed about money. I got a fair job, and the price of WoW is fine. This is what we're listening to today, by the way, and there is no other option, really. All right, let's go. Let's roll. I'm actually not a Holy Priest not-enjoyer. I believe in the Holy Priest. After that, Skeezy, though, if you do want a game, let's do it. Have you played COE Claire Obscura 33? No, I have not. I haven't played anything, Ginger. There's something about being a World of Warcraft gamer where this is the thing I do. So in my heart of hearts, I'm a gamer. Played games all my life, right? I was a socially awkward child. I didn't get along with anyone when I was a kid, so I played games, naturally. The only people who really played games like hardcore when they were young are the people who just didn't really get along. If you were successful at socializing when you were 5 and 10 and 15, you probably didn't play a lot of games. Maybe, give or take. So, we're all a little awkward together, and that's absolutely fine. And so the point is, I was very unsuccessful. I would describe me as, in fact, being anti-successful. It's the antithesis of successful. I was really, really awkward when I was a child, so I played games all the time. But even back then, I only ever played one game at a time. It was RuneScape for a year, and then it was Diablo 2 for X amount of time. It was always something. Rezone. You know what I mean? Still a socially awkward butterfly. Have you evolved, Moth? But the idea is that's sort of how I approach it. You know, but it was whatever game I was playing is the thing that I was playing. And I'm not good at playing several games at once. It's like a multitasking skill that I straight up don't have. I'm intensely curious about it, though. I am very curious about what that would be like. Build I am using linked here. Boom. Excellent. And there is a video I made yesterday. You never played E3? No, Dusk. I don't play anything. I am playing Arcane Bear. The build I'm using is pinned in Discord, and also I made a video yesterday talking about the threat and basically solving Guardian Druid threat. Yup. Arcane Bear. I mean, playing tank, healer, and DPS is like 3 different games. That is kind of what I do, exactly. What's up, Ozragon? So, like, for me personally, that is kind of the thing that I do, is I just hop around to different roles and hop around to different specs in WoW, and in many ways, that is actually what I do. That's how I enjoy the game, if that makes sense, and how I keep the game fresh. I try to play one game at a time, but fail at it hard. It's surprising to me that that is how I play, because, you know, considering my personality, that actually doesn't make a lot of sense, you know? Yeah, today. In a lot of ways, that actually is surprising, and mostly just because I am incredibly ADHD in terms of the fact that my brain just moves at 1,000 miles per kilometer, and I just constantly am going. It's very hard for me to just take a breath and go. That is not an easy thing for me to do. I am incredibly bad at it. So surprisingly, though, I do play one game at a time. It's like all my brain can reasonably focus on. I think it might have something to do with the fact that I think about WoW all the time. Did you change a build any? This is the build I am using now. This is what I'm doing right now. It is a spam Ironfur. You can maul single target if you really want to, but I don't even do that. And I am on a little bit of a crusade. Not drama. Listen, I'm not talking. It's not drama. I'm just saying that I'm on a slight bit, potentially, little bit of a crusade. How come you have bear form on 7 buttons? It means because when I'm not in bear form, I really want to make sure that I don't hit another global. So this is my human form, and this means I've done something wrong. So any button I hit from here is a bear form. You see? Does streaming make my... Ooh, great question, Veronica. Did streaming make my ADHD symptoms worse? Very interesting question. A fascinating question. Yeah, 100%. It definitely doesn't help. It 100% doesn't help, I can tell you that much. It basically allows me, what it does do, though, is it allows me to capitalize on the things that I'm good at. So rather than feel bad about the fact that I'm like, necrophilia, instead, I can actually just make a joke about it instead. So I think that streaming has empowered me to value myself much higher, actually, because when I am myself and I make a really sarcastic statement or a joke and I laugh at myself, other people laugh with me. And that's an amazing feeling, because in real life, when I do that, people normally run in the opposite direction. It's really cool because, you know, I work as a PT, right? Like, I work as a trainer and I work with people's joints and I get to work with cool medical conditions. So a lot of the times, like, people who come to me, they can't run very well. Their legs aren't working as much as they could, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But then they see me, they start talking to me. I basically just say like 3 sentences and bam, all of a sudden they can run again. It turns out that they just needed to approach me in real life. I didn't even have to even touch their hip. I just, like, all of a sudden, bam, they gain the ability to run far in the opposite direction. Okay, I'm not that bad, but I used to be. How does Druid feel in Midnight? Ricky, it's interesting. First of all, Ricky Leet, what I would say is this. Bear is going to be fine but it has changed. And one of the things not to get caught up on is this. Depending on who you ask, some people will tell you that you need to play bear a certain way. There is going to be an optimal play style, which technically min-maxes the damage that Guardian Druid can put out. And there's going to be a play style that maybe people would prefer that does not min-max the damage that you could put out. You will do enough to do the keys, but you will be doing not the most damage. Now, I am a massive believer, huge believer, what's up, Tuna? I haven't seen you in forever, that you do not have to greed your damage as a tank or a healer. In fact, this is an overrated thing in World of Warcraft. If you do 80% of what you could do, congratulations, that's enough. It's just this weird thing that people think where you have to absolutely 100%, nothing else matters. If you are not doing 100% parsing as a tank or a healer, then you have failed at your life. Keep in mind, I parse just fine. But the idea here is that in raid, people are really, 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 really specific about this. All right, let's roll. Sorry. All right. Does that make sense? Now, I am not a fan of this mentality. I think that you should play the way you want. I think that we're about to time this key, and I'm going to do just fine. And just fine is actually enough. I actually am really, really not a huge fan of this thought process of like, no, it's not enough. You have to do more. You have to be perfect. It's like, with respect, I spent my entire life, not just my childhood, my entire life trying to be perfect, because when I was younger, I never felt like I was enough for anyone. I was a burden to my family. I said this yesterday. I had a really tough childhood. I was medically sick all the time. I felt miserable about the fact that I was a drain on those around me, and I spent my entire life feeling like I had to do more than everyone else just to prove that I should exist in this world. And I am not about to play my favorite game, my stress-relieving game, the thing that I do in the middle of my day when I have free time. I ain't about to play WoW that way. Absolutely not. Imagine that's how you have to live your life, and you're like trying not to be a perfectionist, and then you play the game that you pay to play, and you're like, I'm going to be a perfectionist. You know, it's going to be fine. You can play how you want. Just remember, there are certain tips that you can do to min-max your damage as EC. If you don't do any of those tips, you might struggle with threat. But I want you to see, will I struggle with threat here whatsoever? Right? There's nothing else I can do, but I have the rotation on cooldown, right? I've thrashed these guys. I've done here. It's exactly like the video I made yesterday. Games, in my opinion, are meant to be fun. They're meant to be for fun. That's the point. Like, I don't understand why you would play if you're not actually having fun playing the game, you know? So, personally speaking, that's my perspective. And likewise, if you do want to play in a very different way, that's also fine. Like, if you would like to play in a super giga min-max version, that's also fine. Like, it's totally fine. No problem. Just play however you want. As long as you are a tank and you're successful at tanking, you can lead the key, you survive, you're very tanky. It might not be the most optimal in terms of your damage. And you know what? That's fine. Because tank damage is pretty low right now anyways, though. Sure represents the best part. I played Pally when it was meta, and I was sweating so much. Exactly. Now, granted, there is going to be a sweaty playstyle for Bear, and you might see me play it in push keys, because that might matter in push keys. Like, there's a very real world where I say, oh, man, like, I really feel like I am actually getting to that key level where my little bit of tank damage really starts to matter. Very possible that that does happen. However, I think it's going to be a lot higher than people think it would be. Like, that's not actually I'm not going to approach that anytime soon. Do we need to be cat weaving? So, not cat weaving, but every 2 minutes you should use Heart of the Wild. It's not quite cat weaving. It's just we have the new Heart of the Wild cooldown. Oh, that thing did pull. Interesting. I was tanking a little bit too close. It's been a long time since I've done Priory, and I am not doing very well. I'd actually want this caster pack. Play Guardian for utility. Anything will work at the end of the day. What's up, Illusion? My ping is not 350 today, so I'm feeling slightly better, but this is a lot of casters in this. 1 second. I'm locked in. Got to help my team. So right now I have Heart of the Wild off cooldown. I'm going to make sure I get this kick first on the Priest. I'm going to wait. I'm going to kick this, and then I'm going to shift into Boomy form and then back into Bear form. So that Starfall is going to do this, though. Just do Priory more. Lots of useful info. You're very welcome. Yeah, just know that there will be a few different playstyles available for Bear. You can do Whatever suits your play style will be just fine for the vast majority. This is a 19, by the way. This is not anything less. Ooh, I have a UI question for people. Also, hi, Veronica and Ginger, if you're still in here. I know you don't play WoW, so I probably have been a little bit rambly. Question, how do I hide my mini-map? Someone said I could do this. How do I hide my mini-map, though? I can't see party chat once again. Hold up. How to get party chat back. /P. He said, what is he saying? Can you guys click it off? I don't know what he's saying here, though. I never like cat weaving, so I thought I wasn't going to like the boomy. It's actually super satisfying. Because it's once every 2 minutes and you have the new talent that doesn't actually do this, then it's not so bad. Oh, the frames. Yeah, you can see on the Blizzard base frames. I actually see that right now. I see what he's saying right now, though. Cable that he's doing good. He is doing good indeed. Press Shift M. There's no way. Is it that simple? No, it didn't work. Shift M did not work for me. Terrible, Pat. Unfortunate. Yeah, wait. Just wait. Feel like I'm gaming. Yeah. I actually feel like I'm gaming too, and I think that that's an example of rewarding gameplay that ultimately doesn't actually matter that much. Because, like, if you don't do it, you're kind of fine, right? I think it's a script command. Okay. If you have any idea how to do that, please let me know. I am intensely curious. We're going to vortex now. So they're going to jump out in 3, 2, 1 after this shoot, and then they should grip back in. See that timing? Bam. Just like that. I missed the slight bit of a pushback there. So right now, for example, I just get a little shield for myself. I go out of bear form, starfall, back into bear. You're getting some crazy... Oh, yeah, the snowstorm is in, right? /run minimap hide. Fantastic. That'd be great. Yeah. Snapthread is great with Boomy Swap. I agree. So yesterday, Azrak and I made a video, and it was basically a lot of Guardian Druids I noticed were saying that they're struggling with threat on pre-patch. And I was like, oh, I can solve that for you. Like, I was like, I can literally solve this problem. Like, you don't have to struggle with threat at all because Guardian Druid has actually really good snap thread. So I made an 8-minute video, very in-depth, very kind of min-maxy if you don't really interested. But that video will help people. Like, actually help people. Because it will solve your threat. And I hope that it does help. It's a very, very helpful. There's a lot of little tips for threat that people don't quite understand as a tank. The main thing was how fast I move. So here, for example, see how he just got clapped? And the reason is because I was slow. Because he actually went first, and I was a little slow to moonfire this. And it's all those things. I wish they were explained, but somehow, somewhere, there's zero information for tanks in-game. And I still think that one of the problems is that in World of Warcraft, people get so caught up with doing numbers, they forget that numbers don't actually equal a key. Even if you ask people in the MDI or the Race to World First, they're constantly saying all the time, if you actually listen to any interviews, it's like, our ability to do damage is dependent on the route. It's dependent on cooldown timings. It's dependent on how well we understand the game. Yeah, you got to be good at your rotation. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's not about playing sim perfect. It's about optimizing the gameplay, not the rotational routing talent thing. A lot of times they even play talents that other people say you can't play or whatever. Does that make sense? Like, I really feel like people get this just weirdly backwards all the time, where they think so hard about, like this, for example. What I need to do is I need to get this into the corner, because maximizing the gameplay is the fact that you can actually line of sight the impale from the bleed here. Yeah, it's about exactly. Tanks are leaders of the group. You are a leader. When you play tank, your job is effectively to support your team with the most... no one should have to worry about you. You're a guardian, exactly. Like, you're not supposed to take up your healer's attention if you can be good about smart healing, if you can be good about understanding the route and everything. I'm still doing my rotation right, but, you know, don't have tank issues with aggro. Yeah, I'm curious about the aggro thing. I don't think they could take it out of the game, because certainly weird things would happen if they just took it out of the game. But, like, What about the Havoc Demon Hunter solo to plus 53? I think as well. That's true, SCP. Leatrix add-on can make it square if you like. Ooh, interesting. Okay. I do want more help with that, though. World of Cats. World of Cats! Do you know why I'm late to stream today, World of Cats? Thank you for your video and guides. You're the reason I had the balls to tank. Yo, you're welcome. Guardian is the GOAT. Starter tank. Wish we had a bit more damage. Our damage is decent. I mean, right now in pre-patch, no one is doing a lot of damage. All tanks are a little reduced until we get further into the... We'll get there. But at the moment, Guardian Druid damage is a little low. You can play a build that does slightly more, but it is harder to play. Absolutely fine. It's not that much harder to play. It's just a preference thing. Me kick. My kick. We will let some kicks go off here, so hopefully we can game this a little bit, because we don't actually have enough kicks to cover right now. So we'll have to game. Nice, good kick. That was one of the weirdest things to struggle with. In World of Warcraft, if aggro didn't exist, the game would not necessarily be better, because you would do some degenerate things. And I know you're like, well, listen, I play World of Warcraft. I'm a degenerate. That's my whole thing. Like, you don't want to see my browser history, Awoo. And I'm like, ha, bet. You know, we all have weird browser histories. We play World of Warcraft. Pick your tank for midnight for your mythic title run. Yeah, what's up? Something where it's simple to keep defenses up and feels real tanky. New subscriber here. Oh, yo. I hope that you enjoy your midnight. I actually think in midnight, what I'm hoping for, at least personally speaking, right? No, it's not soap. No, it's not. Your soul might be clean, but your browser history is not. There's no way. I refuse to believe that this is at all possible. That's just the Arcane Bear theme for me. Yeah, and then the truth is that in Midnight, what I'm hoping for is that the meta is a little bit... That's true, your cell phone history. That's true, that's true, that's true. If we're talking that, no one uses their PC for self-soothing activities anymore. Come on. Come on, we have a phone. You get to lay down. It's way more comfortable. Why are you using your browser? No, you gotta... It's true that you basically are on your phone, technically speaking. Right, but I was just kind of including them both for what it's worth. I believe Bear/Demon Hunter. I think that Demon Hunter will actually be one of the more easy pickups, but I also think that all tanks in Midnight are going to be way more straightforward. So if you're worried about that, I actually think no need to worry. I honestly think that all tanks are going to be much easier to pick up, and people will be able to kind of play more what they want without worrying as much, hopefully for meta pressure. That's what I'd like. How are you tracking Ironfur? I'm not. Haha, Precursor. I don't know if you've noticed, I've done all of my keys recently. I have no cooldown manager. I'm not tracking anything. I've played Bear for long enough that it's all committed to memory. I don't know if you've noticed that. Like, I can't track my survival instincts, my bark skin, my incarn, my nothing. I have nothing tracked. My screen is clean. Yeah. Fun. I'm not tracking anything on my UI. I don't need to. For me, personally. Leatrix add-on could make it square. Okay, but does anybody know how to get rid of this? Somebody showed me a UI where they didn't even have a mini-map. So it's definitely possible. I just don't know how to get rid of the mini-map entirely. That is the question that I have. I think Monk and DK is officially going to be... I agree with that, actually. Because they're still the same type of tanks where they're complicated and unique to play, let's say. Whoops. I missed that kick. It's okay, we're good. Yeah, they're still unique, though. There's an add-on to completely remove it, though. It might be possible in edit mode. Header underneath, rotate. That kind of works. That kind of works, at least. Now you can see the key level that we're at. So I'm going to go out of bear form, into bear form, bark skin early, and then roar here so I can get here faster. I'm going to incarn early. I get that thrash ticking. See that thrash right there? And then we're all good. Not the smoothest gather I've actually ever done on this. I don't know why we're listening to Funky Town, but it is what it is. You know what music I actually wanted to listen to today? And what the playlist originally started as? This is what I was feeling. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to shift even on a pole like this. I'll be fine. Boomy Form, Starfall, and here we go. Dwarven Rock? No. All of you are incorrect. It's something even better than anything you could suggest. Bad Omens? No. You want to know what it is? I'll restart the playlist. All right? I'm letting it autoplay because Spotify is awesome. Baby Metal? No. Even better. Lilo and Stitch. Hell yeah. Lilo and Stitch. Yeah. Lilo and Stitch has got to be one of my favorite movies. Did you see the live action of it, by the way? What did you think? Ohana means family. Yeah, I like Lilo and Stitch. I felt like Stitch when I was a kid. Especially the movie Stitch Has a Glitch. When I watched that, I actually cried like so hard. What are the keybinds underneath your action bars? This is my rotation. So this is not a keybind. This is just straight up whatever I'm pressing in the key, this is what I'm doing. You're just tracking my rotation down here if you do want to see what buttons I'm pressing. So I got to the pack first. I'm going to kick one. I overlap my kick, no problem. I will use my CC. So this is, for example, you want to see an example of good tanking? So watch this. I'm going to Vortex Typhoon now because those casts can't go off because that's what will actually kill people. So an argument is like, well, I should be min-maxing my kicks, right? But actually speaking, it's more important to kick the cast on the overlap than it is to... Like, that War Stomp that I just did was wasted. I should have saved that for the next hole. I technically just wasted it, though. From what I've seen is that no one liked it. No, I don't think it was actually that bad, Sylar. It's different. It's different. It's not the same. But actually, I thought it was pretty good, to be honest. I walked away from the theater feeling like I liked it, though. Fall off? No, it doesn't. And, Baby Claws, it might save the threat modifier potentially because Bear Form has a threat modifier. So, I don't know if it does or does not, but it seems to help with AoE threat at the very least. For what it's worth, it seems to. I actually can't tell you if it definitely does. It might just be a regular ability that has threat. But here what I can do is I can shift out, Starfall, and back into Bear. It's not as dangerous anymore because of the new talent. And also, if you're really scared, you can always overlap it with like a Barkskin. So here, the Vortex Typhoon. And then I would in-cap now, but see, I in-capped earlier. And that's just because understanding the key means that's where people could wipe. That's what I want to do to help my team. There's just little things like that. Yeah. I didn't watch all the Disney live-action movies. I only watched some of them. But I'm an emotional guy. I'm a sucker for that stuff. We are smoking this key. Holy, we are doing a lot of damage this key. Yep. Pre-patch is significantly easier, DN. Yep. Well, we're playing with a Holy Priest right now, so to be fair, he doesn't have a kick. But no healer has a kick now. You know that Holy Priest was inadvertently buffed for World of Warcraft, right? You know what? My actual favorite... Shami has a 30-second kick, technically, yeah. You know what my favorite moment from stream yesterday was? Because we got to have this one moment on stream, and it was my absolute favorite part. Yo, that cast. My heart, bro. It looked like the thing didn't get kicked, but it did. You see this stuff from Quasi? Totally understand if you don't want to get into that stuff. Whoa. What? Is there drama, Cape? What you say, totally understand if you don't want to get into that stuff. What? What do you do? No. Totally, that sounds like drama. That sounds like tea. Hold up, wait a second. What's the drama? Wait, hold up. Yeah. Well, explain it in nice terms first. And Cape, you didn't get in trouble, did you? Because you shouldn't have. I heard about the hot drama. Oh my god, hot drama. What's the hot drama? Will you be competing in the MDI? Nah, I don't like. Even if I was good, even if I was willing to put the effort into playing the game at that level, I don't like the practice time of it. There's no way that, reasonably speaking, I could actually do the MDI. Whoa. No. Something paid add-ons. Whoa, hold up. No, I don't know anything about this. You'll have to explain it to me. What's the drama? So, SCP, to compete in the MDI, first of all, I'm not as good at the people who win the MDI. Like, not even close. If I thought that I might want to, there are two big barriers. The first little one is the fact that I play with like 200 plus ping, so it would be difficult for me because those guys are so good that I would have to be gaming at a level that I've never gamed at if I really wanted to compete in MDI. The other big one, though, is not even that. Because let's say I was to overcome that barrier. There's an even bigger one, which is pretty simple. You want to know what it is? This is the actual barrier, okay? I don't want to play 14 hours a day for like 7 weeks in a row. It's crazy how much effort people put in to compete in the MDI. I do not pretend to be on that level whatsoever. I am very okay being good at the game without needing to prove that, because that sounds miserable, dude. Like, wow. Can you imagine playing? It's like literally they play like 14, 15 hours a day, man. Yeah. I could do that, Ricky. That part for me I could do, because I actually play everything, and I wouldn't have a hard time swapping, I don't think, to different roles or different specs. But I wouldn't be able to do the practice time. It would destroy me 100%. I just couldn't put in the time and effort required, because it doesn't even matter how good you are. Like, you could be Echo, you could be Gingy or Now or whoever you think is some of the best MDI players. You still have to put in that much time. It's not like you're just, oh, I'm really good at this, and now all of a sudden I just don't have to practice as much. Like, no, even those guys have to practice, and otherwise they'll lose. So it's such a barrier. I feel like there's a few people I know who are probably good enough to do it and might even compete seriously in it, but they just won't actually do it because, you know, like, it's just a lot of time investment, and I'm just not, my mental would not be able to handle it. I can't even handle the time investment of Mythic Raid. Like, I already struggle enough to just Mythic Raid when I'm supposed to. Guardian Druid MDI. Squish competed, to be fair, in terms of, like, Guardian Druid mains. He played, you know, the physical god comp. They might not have gotten very far, but we respect the fact that they tried. I don't really understand it either, to be honest. It just got hot among the other add-on authors. Can you explain to me the actual drama? I still don't want to believe the UI drama. So you're saying Quasi stole, you know? He's seemingly very chill when playing. Kira's a really good tank, yeah. I haven't played with him myself, but so I hear. One add-on dev crashed out and claimed Quasi's code. Oh, I see. Okay. Copied and then is selling it. Ah, I see what happened. Okay. Now, to be fair, Cypher. Right, okay. How... There's no proof that copy was Quasi 101, so it's a nothing burger. Right. I see now. This is the drama. Okay. I was about to say, how do you prove that... I don't know enough about code, but how do you prove that code is or is not stolen? How would you know? Because that's a serious accusation to make, so, like, how would you be able to confirm it, though? I was about to say, like, well, with the new API restrictions, certainly there can't be that many ways to code a UI. How much variation is there in the code that they could have used? Out of curiosity, though. Do you see what I mean? Like how many ways could he have coded the line? That's one way to think about it, I think. Is that Paladin going to heal? He is going to heal. We'll just wait a second. We will pull this then. All lines are the same. It is literally a copy-paste. So what's the statistical likelihood that that is a coincidence? There is a way to prove it, but without proof, there's no one. Okay, so statistically speaking, it seems pretty likely that he copied the code, is what you're saying. 0. Like, so it's definitely a copy-paste of the code. You're saying to me. Again, I don't understand this, so I would have to just trust you guys. Quasi does for the community. I know people hate this guy. So that's what I'm saying. I agree with that. That's what I was going to say next. Luckily, the creator of LVY also came out and said it. Interesting. Now, to be fair, okay, I have a maybe slightly different take about this, for what it's worth. I might have a different perspective that maybe you can listen to, and I'll provide some context. I don't know shit about the code, and obviously it would kind of suck if he did copy-paste it, because that seems like it's somebody's work, and you have to work very hard on doing all the UI stuff for WoW. But what I can tell you is this, okay? Here's what I can tell you. Streamers and people who make content for WoW, Quasi, of all of them, has put out, I think, more free resources than anyone. I mean, like, maybe there's a few people, but, like, literally, I mean, come on, man. He's such a positive force in the community because his stuff has been free for a very long time. He should have been, oh my God, he should have been charging for it for this whole time. Like, he should have made more money from this. He should have made way more money than he actually does. Streamers don't make nearly as much as people think they make. That volley is about to kill everyone. I'm going to go back and get a kick. I got one. So I'm kind of all for him making more money. Obviously, if he stole it, though, that's a little bit like, you know. No. Even though, Elko, like, you don't make nearly as much as you think you make. Like, you want to estimate how much I make from my stream? You can send me something, and I'll tell you if it's right or wrong if you'd like. You don't make nearly as much as you think you make. As a dev, I cannot believe that AI would cause some of this to happen. Quasi-Dutch have been able to be... Okay, that makes more sense. Not saying it was a good or bad. It hit on a dangerous gray area. Yeah, I mean, this is actually a gray area with AI in general, is what happens when this happens more often. Because this is not the last time this is going to happen. You know what I mean, though? Chew and have a decent living, enjoy what you do. I like how we're listening to Peaches right now. I was like, why is Jack Black in my headset? And then I realized there's only so many ways to make it. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so that's from my understanding, that's my first thought was, what are the chances that they just have really limited the ability to code stuff? And it actually is just, there's only so many variations, and he just happened to have the same variation as someone else. But if it's line for line, maybe not. Even then, he shouldn't have copied it and sold it. That would be a problem. But goddamn, if he wants to make some money by selling his stuff, that's a problem. I'm not saying that that's good then, but I'm just saying if he wants to make some money selling his UI, I know a lot of people get mad when streamers do that. Good for him. That's kind of my perspective. I'm new to this whole streaming and WoW content. I can't take this seriously with Jack Black just screaming Peaches on the goddamn... You guys hear the music, right? I have this random playlist, and I'm just like sitting here, and I'm trying to have a serious conversation about some spicy WoW drama, and all of a sudden I just hear Jack Black in my headset screaming with absolute passion, Peaches. Oh, goddamn. What were we saying? What was the subject of conversation? Oh yeah. Anyways, there are little things, like, for example, one thing that I want to do is I want to make a Patreon. And I'm going to make and work really hard on very specific, just fucking awesome content for the Patreon. Like, I'm just going to make some badass stuff for Patreon. But it will be locked behind a subscription. That means I know in my heart not everybody will have access to it. I've been thinking about how I want to do this. Like, if I can make a basic version that everyone can have, and then an advanced version that you could pay for Patreon. But I do have to figure out a way, if I'm going to spend a lot of time on it, like, this is not my main job, so I do have to figure out a way to get a return. And that might be one of my solutions, is to say, well, let me just make omega gig of content that is worth people paying for, that you will not regret it. Like, my thought process is, if you're going to pay me $5 a month or whatever, it's like, you're getting your money's worth. In fact, I'll give you double your value, triple your value, quadruple your value. You'll be like, wow, I'm so glad I did this. That's how I always thought, you know what I mean? Well, I have one now, Ricky, just new this month. I've only been streaming and making content for like a year, you know, like just basically a year, slightly over a year now. So I'm still new at kind of learning all of this stuff. It's a learning process for me. I got one. Yeah. And actually, by the way, for what it's worth, this is a cool one too. That's an actual cool one because I use it. Like, Opera GX is a literal sponsor, and it is a good one. I hope that they want to keep working with me. If you've never used it before, it is definitely for gamers, but I hadn't used it, and people have been telling me to use it for a very long time. This is not some sort of sponsored read, I promise. This is just telling you an interesting fact. That Wowhead is banned in Thailand. If you didn't know this, Wowhead is completely banned in Thailand. You cannot access it. So you need to use a VPN to access Wowhead. This is really random for what it's worth. I don't know. I actually have never figured out why it's banned in Thailand. I just know it is banned in Thailand. So whenever I want to read patch notes or something on Wowhead, I have to go on my phone, enable a VPN, find the link again, etc. I can't open it on my computer. Now, what I can do with Opera GX is actually just straight up hit the button in Opera GX that says VPN on this page, and keep everything else the same and just open a VPN right there. So people have been telling me to use Opera actually for a long time. If you would like to try it out, that link makes me $3. You're welcome to. Just try it. It's actually something you might enjoy. It's got a lot of customization. That is not... I should get paid way more for the sponsored reads, but that's not actually a sponsored read. I don't have to do that. Hey man, $3 is ice. That's ice cream money. That's how do you think I afford my premium ice cream, Soap? I got to afford... How do you think I'm affording my premium ice cream, man? I got a crippling ice cream and cheesecake addiction. I got to afford it somehow. This is basically when you sub to me, all right? When you sub to me, I afford ice cream. That's exactly what it is. Everything I make, not everything I make, but pretty much everything I make from all this streaming stuff goes straight to the communal ice cream fund. Does this mean we can have ice cream today? Ooh. Well, no one subbed yet. So no. Unfortunately not, Kitty. I know, it's sad. So no ice cream yet. GG's. 20 streets. 20 streets. Well enough. Instead of $2 resub, ice cream's on me. Fantastic. That's what I'm talking about, Soap. Thank you. They got me playing Mop Classic. Can you believe that? I can, actually. If you enjoy it, enjoy it. Classic has some magic that other parts of WoW don't have, man. Give me a sec. No, you don't actually have to, by the way. New Cheesecake back is on hold. All right, hold on. Let me actually read this. So there's a disconnect here. Let me see. No, Tujakul. First of all, thank you for being polite in your communication. I love having debates on stream, but I like having debates and conversation, not arguments. And that's a big, big, big difference. So first of all, thank you. I immediately see that you say, I'm not attacking you, right? No, not sure. Like, I don't want to be hostile. Let me just clarify. Whenever we're talking anything on stream, no hostile communication. We can have a conversation with different opinions, okay? Like, I can say, for example, that I like furries, and you can say that's weird, but we can still be friends. LVI had to start from scratch here like everyone else with the new changes. The Lua doesn't really allow for much diversity in using code language to do what they want it to do. So there's going to be crossover. That being said, Quasi technically released first, meaning LVUI. Oh, Tujical. So you're saying the drama might actually be the opposite. You're saying that potentially it's actually LVUI that stole from Quasi. Oh, that's a spicy take. You're saying that it might be the other way around, because Quasi was somehow the first one to release. Okay, the plot thickens. Not the soup. I don't like soup. Soup is bad. But the plot thickens. Interesting. I get an invite invalid when I use your Discord link? It shouldn't be. It should be, that link should work. Does that Discord link work for people? Let me link it again. I hate soup. Dude, because soup is bad, Monkey. When you tell me, for example, you're like, I hate soup, I'm like, oh, congratulations. Like, you are an intelligent human being. That's some shit like Pablo when I had Dander frame. Dude, did you see that? Yeah, the Dander's frame nephew-y thing was genuinely, that was funny. Did you guys see that one? I'm mostly saying LV when I provide proof before they first accuse. That's fair. That's fair, Tujical. I hear what you're saying. This makes sense to me, man. I like tomato soup. Every other soup is mid to bad. I'm just going to stick with the fact that all soups are a little mid. They're all kind of a little bit suspiciously not good. Tomato soup is good with grilled. No, listen. LVUI came out after Neff accused and was backing up Neff. So, for what it's worth, I understand the drama between these things altogether. I don't mind the fact that Quasi is trying to make a living, because he deserves it. He's been doing this for a very long time, and he puts a lot of effort, as far as I know, into making all of this stuff. But I also can't say I know how that works or anything like that. Here, try this, Brit. Is that better? That should work. Sometimes the Discord link is a little weird on YouTube. All right, he said he's going to relog real quick. I'm going to list the 20 streets and see who's around. I'm not a huge fan of this song, this one. What about this? What are we listening to now? Oh, you know what I was just thinking of? The aunt from Big Hero 6. Not sure why people understand the drama. I believe there's enough in the world for UI makers to live happily together. Make better UIs, not drama. I think, unfortunately, Ricky, it is just a competitive thing. I think that they ultimately they do it for some sort of monetization or money, and so it's kind of like, apologizing, give credit. That said, I'm just wanting to hear Quasi side of the story. If you're Quasi, do you even respond? Isn't there a logic that just says if somebody accuses you on the internet, the best thing to do is stay quiet and not engage? Is that not actually a true thing? It's a very small space. You have to be mean. I don't like that, but I think you might be right. Right? Like, I'm just not... Even came out openly said his dev was using some code from someone else months ago, and then he had to spend a few days rebuilding it. But ultimately, everyone uses AI to help code, and AI probably copies code where possible. That makes sense. Like, so what if he did this? He already responded chaotic? What do you say? It still says invalid for you? Britt, come over to Twitch real fast and see if you can just grab it from Twitch. Because sometimes I think the YouTube does weird things, but it might be where you're from, potentially. Unsure. He made an X post. Ooh, I can't open X stuff on stream, chaotic. You apply a Lucari and ignore the accusations and keep on playing. So I kind of think that might be what you're supposed to do, actually. Like, I think that sometimes internet drama is just whatever, though. What's on the feed? Holy shit. Yeah, I got 2 Twitter accounts, actually. I have 2. One of them, Moth, is used specifically for... self-soothing activities, and the other one is used for posting cute cat things, and that's my actual stream one. That one works. You can see that one. But it's the same stuff I post to the Instagram. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same stuff here. Yeah. Deceptor, good morning. I almost fell asleep playing Sentinel Marksman Hunter. That class. Is Marksman Hunter? I haven't actually gotten to play this, though. I haven't got to play Marksman Hunter, so I don't know how that feels right now. But for what it's worth, actually, if you don't know this, I do have one of these, and it's just cat content. It's literally just my cat and me cuddling the whole time. That is the entirety of that page, if you like cute cats. Yeah, I have an Instagram. Did that work for you, though? He made a Discord post. Oh, I can open Discord. He said, okay, it's a he said, she said situation. I fell into the drama instead of leveling a new character, so I'm mad. Ha, Tujakul, that is the right answer. Now, I won't get into I will not talk politics or anything like that on my stream, but god damn it, oftentimes it really is always just a he said, she said. That's the entirety of the internet these days. They're like, well, they said this, and it's like, well, I heard this, and it's like, but I heard that, and I'm like, all of you heard AI, man. Like, literally every single point that you're talking about is from a robot. You didn't hear a he or a she or a they or a them. You heard an AI. Like, that's, like, I don't understand why people don't catch that. Like, if people really like their internet drama, so we get so caught up in stuff, you know what I mean? I was going to say I see 0 things on Twitter, but does that make sense? Like, in my opinion, basically, people don't realize that a lot of the information you get fed is very specifically a robot that has decided you're going to like this information and interact with it. So it makes you mad, and then you get mad, and then you're like, man, why am I mad? And you're like, because that's how it's designed. I don't know. But yeah, basically, it's like they design it to get you, and then you get got, and then all of a sudden, you're like, ha, I get got. Who dis? Rain says, let's party. Ooh, I might have to kick Timo. That robbed the bank, sir. It was AI. What if it was? I think it is wrong or not. That's fair, Siler. And I think that that's a very fair thought process to have. It's like, look, at the end of the day, I don't really care what's right. Like, who's actually in... I don't care about the actual part of that. I just want everyone to be respectful. If you steal from other people, you should have some personal responsibility and say something about it. I think that that's very fair. Yeah, that's fair. I will tell you that I feel like everyone does this, though. The link worked from inside. There it is. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, I post a lot of good resources to Discord. I've been trying to post more. Here, like, let me post this overall, for example. Was this from the Priory just now? Yeah. Right? 22K overall in Priory. I was having a bit of an argument. I got into an argument earlier. I got heated. I was debated. Earlier today, I engaged in some internet discourse. That's true, and I very rarely get debated, but I was. Hold up. Timbo. I think Rain wants to. I did, actually. I did have a heated gamer moment, though. Okay. Let me ask if he can step out. 1 sec. Yeah, you want to hear what it is? It's a Guardian Druid thing, too. I did get debated into a Guardian Druid conversation. What tank are you most excited to play with the Apex talent? Demon Hunter. I think Demon Hunter has the best Apex talent by far. Imagine, by the way, though. I won't leave. You have to boot me. Who's Glob, by the way? Is Glob Timbo? Who's Glob? No, that was Null. I add you. Here, I add you. Thank you for showing people Holy is good. I add you. Thank you for showing people Holy Priest is good. And then I guess we get Rain in here if he wants to come. Timmy. Oh, his name is Timmy. All right, bet. We got to make notes for people to remember. All right, Rain. Playing the WoW when I was 12 as a 23-year-old is neat. I'm so much better now. That is a very fair point with WoW. But allow me to tell you about this, though. May I add you on BNet? My BNet looks like this, by the way. I have completely base UI. Definitely agree with this. The longer the issue stays unresolved, exactly. I agree with that in Cypher. I think at the end of the day, we can all agree on that. So, by the way, everyone has this. Pretty bad. Oh, that's a tough note. Oh, that's a tough note right there. God damn. Can I borrow one of your cats for cuddles another day? Dude, so like I note everybody, right? So if you're on my friends list, I try to note you because otherwise I'll forget. I have like almost 600 people. I've had to delete people recently. And sometimes I scroll over your note and I'm just like, good S-Priest, I owned on a Woo healing. Damn, kind of rough tank, but we made it. I love my notes sometimes. Dude, Ooga Booga. I'm down to listen to this. Without the Apex talent devoured, yes. I've heard that before, though. So I got a lot of style. I don't recognize him. He doesn't have a note. Remove friend. Bye-bye. But no, I have to stop adding people to this, though. Who is this? I feel bad about this note, man. I feel kind of bad about this note. A pretty bad H-Priest who did plus 18 week before pre-patch. I helped him learn how to play. Was rough. Maybe he will learn. We'll see. Sorry, locals. Legendary. Pretty solid subtle rogue that did plus 23 D other side. Damn. D other side. This is from 4 or 5 years ago, man. Yapping. Now you'll never see. Yeah, let me get Rain in here. Hello. Rain I add, but I have to go to this first. All right, cool. We got Rain. All right, Timmy. Let me go get Timmy back. This guy is on here, though. Oh, jeez. Sorry about that. Most of your notes are PvP ratings. Yeah. Oh, you guys want to hear about the drama? Let me start the key first, and I'll tell you the drama. First of all, let me just note him. I think this was the priest we were just playing with. Timbo, Slice, good priest, healer. There you go. And then Glob was the other guy we just played with. He is over here. He was a pretty good DK. He did his stuff right. So, good, unholy. DK did pre-patch keys. Okay, good. Accept. So, here's the problem. And here's what's up. Will I play beta today? No, probably not. I'll get back to beta in a few days. I've been actually enjoying pre-patch, believe it or not. I've been enjoying retail keys. Okay. Got a new monitor. Scored a 32-inch curve. Damn, healer. 32 inches. I can't even imagine that. Most of the time, the highest amounts of inches that I can conceptualize in my brain is like 2. All right, here we go. So, with the Guardian Druid stuff, I don't really believe that you have to play one way or the other because tank damage is pretty low right now. So I did 22k in that key. Let me ask you a question. That priory we just did, 19 priory, did it matter whether I did 22k DPS or 25? How much time would it actually take off if I did 3 to 4k more damage overall? So that's like 15 to 20% more tank damage. How much time would it actually have taken off the key? Let me ask you. I'm serious. That's a question. The brightness and color hurts my eyes if I play too much now. Because we're getting old, Tribe. That's because we play WoW. That's because we're getting old. You plan on staying pre-patch throughout the weekend? At least a few more days, Purple, but I'll get back to beta soon. I want to update my healer tier list. I want to play healers on beta right now. I want to update the healer tier list and then play a few more DPS before beta's actually gone. We only have another month or so of beta, and then it's all leveling characters for 3 entire weeks. You guys know it's 3 weeks from release until the season starts, right? You guys know that, yeah? Have you thought about that? I don't think people have really... I don't think people understand what this means. That's insane. Like, so for example, when does Midnight come out? No, 2, 3. Because, Timmy, here's the problem, though. Okay? Yes, I agree with that. But here's the problem, all right? There's a heroic week, so you do get to do at least that, but keys are still capped until the 23rd of March, I believe. February 27th is early access, but effectively you're leveling characters for 2.5 weeks, and then you can just do normal and heroic raid on all those characters, but keys are still capped because heroic week. Heroic week is 2 weeks after, which means that keys don't actually get to do until 3 weeks after. So min-maxing and optimizing damage specifically, not HPS, not anything else, just damage as a healer and a tank is a very weird thing. If you sim and you decide to make decisions based on a sim, you are probably wrong, okay? I actually think that Heroic Week will be nice for me because I'm not a raider and I just want to do keys, but I'll actually have a week to go into the raid. Have you thought about that perspective? It's actually going to be probably good for me as a non-raider to have that time period because otherwise I'm going to feel bad about the fact that I'm not in a key, right? So it'll be around 4 weeks if you have the early access. Almost, yeah. Oh, classic song. Also, so actually, in a weird way, I'm excited for Heroic Week because I'll be like, oh, I won't feel bad about taking my 7 alts that I try to level into a normal or heroic raid for a little bit until we actually get to keys. So from that logic, I don't think I'm that worried about it. Having my sight on Holy Paladin at the moment, having a lot more fun on here in pre-patch. Dude, Holy Paladin has a bit of a, maybe not a glow up with Lightsmith, but a lot of healers got pruned a ton, but I think that Lightsmith Holy Paladin is still fun. I don't think Herald is fun in my opinion. In my opinion, Herald did not feel like rewarding gameplay. It's possible I just wasn't playing it as good as I should have, but, nope, by Arson. He got double beamed. We'll take those 2 into boss later. Feral, unfortunately, isn't in a great spot. Oh, yeah, Feral got absolutely nuked out of existence. What's up, nerds? Yo, nerds, I did leg day a few days ago, and I instantly regret it. Because I got up the next day, and you probably had this feeling before at some point in your life, but I got up the next day, and I was like, damn, my butt is so sore. It's like, kind of like when I lived in LA, and I would go have, like, a ton of Mexican food. It was a similar experience. They have one, if not the most boring Apex talent in the game. The problem with Feral is they lost their identity. So with the pruning in Midnight, there are some specs that just basically got pruned to the extent that they don't feel unique anymore. And Feral is kind of just a weird assassination rogue-ish. It's always kind of struggled for a little bit of an identity spot, you know what I mean? It's always had that issue before where Feral is just like, sometimes it feels unique and other times it's just like, why I'm just a weird melee. And right now I think it has extra problems with that because it's not so much rotationally, but it's also the damage profile, the actual product of Feral. It doesn't really have a niche, and it kind of needs a niche being a melee spec. You like the new Feral, Harith? Really? I think you're the only person to have told me that. But why do you like the new Feral then? Cat form here. Go pull these guys. Let me pull this into the mini boss for a little bit more funnel. I'll kick that one first. Well, even week 1 will likely be normal going into the whole stat squish, though. Yeah, so normal should be a little bit harder to clear always. It's the season 1, so normal is always going to be a bit harder to clear. They bring back Leader of the Pack? Nope. No, nothing like that. But I actually do think that the Heroic Week, I'm just upset that it is going to take a long time, and we just know the other thing about the Heroic Week is that there will be a massive tuning patch. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. There's going to be a massive tuning patch because Heroic Week exists. So whatever you think is going to be meta, it could very well change drastically because they're going to look at heroic logs. They're going to absolutely just open Warcraft logs and take a look at normal and heroic. and then they're going to make decisions on tuning based on that. That's an interesting little thing that probably people haven't thought about. Is that there's going to be obviously a lot of tuning before the expansion comes out, or like first week as we level. But then they're actually going to have an entire week before keys start and the race to world first really begins because there's no mythic raid. So they'll make their final adjustments. Yeah, so what you should do, basically, if you really like your spec and you're, like, actually passionate about it, then you should probably just, yeah, you want to be as bad as possible for this time period. Oh, he's way out here. I don't think they nailed it. Somehow love spec because no one played it because horrible the snapshot. I think that the snapshotting was part of what made Feral interesting. I'm kind of agreeing that I don't think it was very accessible to new players, but, you know, I'm purposely trying to get... Windwalker needs another buff. It got a buff on beta recently, but I don't know how strong that buff was. It was horrible, but a lot of people liked it as far as I know. I prefer Lightsmith too, though. I have to say Herald's a lot more fun now than it was before. Herald isn't fun because there's no reward for me to min-max it. That's what I feel like, though. It was a week or a nightmare. Fair enough. For me, snapshotting was a reason that I couldn't play Feral very well. Because I didn't put the time in to really invest into it, and it was very difficult for me to, like, learn how to play it with something that wasn't intuitive. Hold up, I'm in Incarn, I know. I just gotta drink some salty water. Salty water. Those you also? Oh yeah, always do. My ping today is pretty good right now. What is it? This is green ping today. I'm on only 263 world. That's actually pretty good for me. 263, it's a weird ping today. Today I have not consistent ping, so let's see. After the next cage, we'll pull the two guys. I have 172 home. That's very low. That's a good one. 172 home, 262 world. That is a pretty unique ping. Normally it's about 200 even, 220, give or take. But yeah, Timmy, I just get used to it. I like your name, by the way, because I can just say, Timmy, Timmy, Timmy. Let's try to sync these. It's better for Guardian if I sync them. This pack will still clap, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, keep in mind that this is pre-patch, but I'm also just... I'm playing the version of Guardian, which is effectively immortal and unkillable, so if it looks like I'm Omega tanky, it's because I'm playing well. Actually, if I'm not careful, I will straight up die in this key, though. These little ass guy hate to have 100 ping. You get used to it. Yeah. Yeah, here's the problem with how I ping for me, personally, right? Is that occasionally, when my head hits the pillow at night, I just... shed like a single tear. Like I've noticed, I'll lie to you because, you know, like masculine energy and stuff. I'll tell you it's a single tear, but actually it's a stream of tears. Like my face is covered. I look like I have just rewatched High School Musical again for the first time. But basically I'm full crying and I just think to myself, what would it be like? Mama, what would it be like to have single digit ping? I'll never know. Yeah. What would it be like to have double-digit ping? I'll never know. That's what I do sometimes. I really wish I knew, but I'll never know. Hey, Onos. What's your morning activity today? Are you going for a run, a hike, a walk, or a 3-day adventure across the Appalachian Mountains? Which are very far from your location. I'm not sure exactly why I thought of the Appalachians. Probably because I watched a video on cannibalism the other day. Why not hike Everest at this point? Well, Onos probably could hike Everest. Onos is like ridiculously, cardiovascularly speaking, Onos is incredibly fit. It's very impressive. I get actually impressed by this. Because my cardio, so like, Timmy, here's what I would say. When's your next interluster with the animal market? It was cool. I didn't like it as much. I don't want to go back there, for example, though, because I didn't realize quite the environment that they were being kept in, nerds, and it really kind of bothered me. I like animals a lot, right? So when I realized that they were being kept in conditions that I would not consider to be humane, I didn't really want to go back. So we won't go back there to stream there, but my next in real life stream, if you notice, there's a thing on the top right of stream. Oh, did I disable it? Never mind. I'll maybe re-enable it. There is a community tracker. Anyone can donate any amount to it, and whenever that fills up will be my next in real life stream. Whenever that fills up. Can you see it? Let me see right here. In the top right of the screen. Oh, I had disabled it for recording. There you go. See that right there? If you do exclamation dare, you can technically dare me to do anything, and the dare that I have up right now is the next in real life stream. Whenever that fills up, I will do another one. Must be terrible now. There are so many people. Mount Everest. I've heard really crazy horror stories from Mount. Have you heard this before? That like way more people die on Everest, etc. That you initially thought about. What's up, Legend? Hey, Biddy. How's it going? Yeah, I've heard like some really like guys don't climb Everest. That's what I've heard before from people. I mean, not that I would, anyways. That sounds cold, arduous, and whatever. True. Also, a lot of people are dying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I thought. That's what I've heard, Timmy. And I'm like, wait, what? They are? And they're like, yeah, like a lot. Yeah, like a crazy amount. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, all of a sudden, it doesn't matter that you're a billionaire. The mountain is cold and unforgiving. Teacher did it. Everest was brutal, he said. I don't think that anybody would climb Everest and not describe it as brutal. There's like no way that anyone goes to climb Everest and they're like, you know what? That was a piece of cake. Because you can't return the core. I mean, that's crazy. What makes people think that they should do this? I hear this story and I think to myself, you know what I shouldn't do? Everest. Yeah. Like, you know what? I hear this and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't sound like a good... Like, if you told me to do Everett, I'd be like, unfortunately, I'm in a relationship, but otherwise I'd consider it. You know, nothing wrong with Everett. But Everest, not going to happen. I can't even understand why anybody... So, to be fair, yeah, Timmy, like, you would have people who say the exact opposite perspective of, I could totally appreciate wanting to do some sort of human challenge of, man, climbing Everest sounds like it would be such a good accomplishment, but why in the world would anyone try to crush themselves with 1,000 pounds on a squat? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You have a perfectly good job, you know, you have a family that doesn't love you, you have a dog, though, or a cat, and they need you. Like, why would you risk your life trying to lift this weight? It doesn't mean anything. So got to keep in mind, from a different perspective, people would see weightlifting in the same vein, whereas other people would say, no, weightlifting is like part of the human, like that's a crazy accomplishment. I would love to push how much weight I can lift. That's super cool, but why in the world would I ever consider Everest? Do you see what I mean? Do you have both perspectives? And honestly, both of them are totally valid and fair. I lagged out there. And I did not get my feral frenzy. I cast wild growth on my party with that Heart of the Wild. I thought about doing one of the long trails in America, but seems to be really crowded. Onos, do you only hike or go places that don't have a lot of people? Because that's what I would do. If I'm going to hike in the woods, the last thing I want to do is say, oh, hello. Like, I'm unlocking my inner liver king. I'm trying to be as primal as I can be, you know? Like, I'm kind of sort of not interested in, like, connecting with other people. I'm trying to connect with nature. Sort of. I don't know. Do you like nature, Timmy? I actually can't say yes to this. I think I'm supposed to. Supposedly, it's part of the human condition to like nature, but I don't. Every time I go to nature, I think, why am I here? There's bugs, there's this, there's whatever, though. You don't mind meeting some. I would say that I would want to be in solidarity, I think. I would like to do that by myself, you know? Then I saw a city with Taco Bell, and I was like, hell yeah, that's fair. They have Taco Bell in Thailand, but it's considered middle class, borderline. Like, it's not cheap here. Very interesting little weird thing about Thailand is that it is actually not cheap to eat fast food here, which is one reason that it is not widely accessible, and not everyone does. Because it is cheaper to go onto the street and to buy... Has Jollibee hit Thailand? No, I don't think so, though. First, sleeping in the woods during winter, because that means there are no bugs or ticks. You did what now? What is going on with that latest Tinder profile thumbnail? So I've been trying to work on my thumbnails cluster. Is that a Tinder profile? I had a much better Tinder profile. What nameplates are you using? Just base name. Oh, no, sorry. Nameplates is just default Plater. I had Plater installed when I got onto pre-patch, and so I just sort of kept it. Wait, did I also just not Feral Frenzy there? That was weird. There seems to be several cool trails in Europe. There was a place when I lived in Ohio for a few years. There was a place, it was called not Yellowstone, but it was called Yellow Springs, as far as I remember. And that place was kind of awesome. I really liked it. I really, really liked going there. And it was some sort of woody trail. It wasn't very crowded when I went, etc. So pull these guys. Please don't butt pull the rest. I think it was called that. I don't know if there's any people who live in Ohio here. If there are, then I apologize. I hope you you manage to find some happiness and some maybe regular water soon. One thing that really surprised me, because I don't think people quite realize just how bad this is, but do you know that in Ohio, I went to the grocery store, and the very first time I was there, I watched somebody check out with, like, I think it was 3 dozen Coca-Colas. And the more I lived in Ohio, the more I realized, bro, people don't drink water. They drink pop, or soda, as it's called. Yo, get rated. What's up, Gfo? It's really interesting. Like, actually, even where Gfo is kind of from, man, like, yeah, like, there's a lot of places in America where there's somehow somebody told them at some point that it's not about the water is a lie and it's actually all about the soda and the pop. Oh, I got stunned. Oh my God, I got disconnected. No way. It disconnected me because of a weird thing. Hey, am I still here? Did my internet go out or did my game just crash? No, I'm still here, right? Are we still here on stream? That's not an internet thing. That was definitely a weird axis because I got kicked into an orb and the game couldn't register that I was kicked into an orb. Amazing. There is typical. There is still an Ironfur spam build that actually works very well. Are we treating it like a warrior shield and keeping it on 100%? Yes. Apparently, Gfo. I think I'll still be alive. I bet that I am, actually. Yep, all good. Not a problem. The details will be reset, but no worries. I needed to reset them anyways. Wait a second. Also, hi. Yep. There's no shared chat with me, Gfo. We have our own individual streams, but you're welcome to go say hi. Gfo, this could have been you. You could have been with us today, but you chose the path of Zuti. Or whatever else. I don't know. As a druid, I'm getting a lot of shapeshifter, though. My grandfather loved traveling in Norway. What's up, Lee? I was trying to invite Gfo. I was like, yo, Gfo, come key. And she was like, no, you know, I'm playing with people. And I was like, wow, all right, get loyal then. I was going to ask if I could bring, no, of course. I'm just kidding. Anytime, man. Hey, it's Arson. I've seen like, yeah. Dude, Arson is a giga. He does not get enough credit, I think. I don't know if it's just he doesn't upload that often, but man, he does not get enough credit. My dude is like an actual giga World of Warcraft player. He plays Aflock, and he's been playing Aflock for years and years and years, and he only plays Aflock, man. Yeah, he should be an Arson fan. He's chill as fuck. He's got a really cute cat. He got cats. He just wears a beanie, man. He likes beans. But more than that, like, actually, though, it's like, can you imagine playing one character for that amount of time? And of all the things you could choose, you choose Affliction Warlock? That's a tough life. I think to myself, man, as a child, I was in the hospital. I had to go through all of these things. But at least I didn't decide to main Affliction Warlock. So, not everything is as bad as it could have been. That's like choosing to main Survival Hunter. There's like, no, not even, because Survival Hunter was at least good for one particular point in World of Warcraft's history. We want these 2 Peacekeepers there, sorry. I am trying to remember my streets route as I do this. I'm kind of YOLOing it, actually. I hope you get better. I was down for a count yesterday. I think it's just that I haven't eaten. You know, Gfo, you know how I work in fitness, yeah? I've been working in fitness and health for a long time. Sometimes I talk to people, and they're like, man, I do not feel well. Will you help me with nutrition? And I was like, absolutely, let's go over it. What do you normally eat? And they're like, well, you know, I do pretty good. Like, I make myself breakfast, and I'm like, okay, what do you have for breakfast? And it sounds pretty good. And then I'm like, and then they're like, yeah, but by dinner time, I just feel bad. And they go, okay, like, so, like, what'd you do during the day? And they're like, I drank, like, just, like, 1 or 2 Red Bulls. And I'm like, when you say 1 or 2, like, what are the sizes of the Red Bulls? And they're like, it's like this big. And I said, oh, okay. And then they're like, and then what else did you do? They're like, well, I had like, just a few sodas. Don't judge me. I'm a soda drinker. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But like, did you have any water? And they're like, oh, not as much as I should. And I'm like, so how much? And they're like, well, I try to drink a cup of water. And I'm like, okay. And how much soda? And they're like, well, just a few cans. And I'm like, just tomorrow, just do me a favor and just let me know how many you have. And they're like, okay. So I had like 17. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's why you feel bad. Like, it's not a complicated, there's no calculus that needs to be had. It's in fact very straightforward. Yeah, like, it's not complicated. It's like, well, you don't drink water and you have, 13 cups of coffee, so you're dehydrated, my friend. And they go, oh, so should I buy this electrolyte supplement? And I'm like, no, you should drink water. Now, if the electrolyte supplement helps you drink water, absolutely. But we need to figure out a way to get you drinking more water, dude. So this is kind of one of those situations where you're like, man, I've noticed this ever since I started dating, that this happens a lot more than you might realize, where your partner goes, because you ask them, you're like, man, you have a headache? Like, so do you want anything? And they're like, yeah, I don't really know why I have a headache. And you said, did you eat today? And they say no. And I was like, did you drink water today? And they say no. And then I say, okay, did you sleep last night? And they're like, no. And I'm like, oh, I think we figured it out. Hi, kitty. You don't need 3 meals. It's basically, you should figure out what works for you. Busted. Just casually talking about me, huh? Maybe a little. Maybe. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, the Ironfur spam build, by the way, works just fine for Guardian. Look, this is a plus 20 streets. Here's what our timer looks like. We're not in danger, are we? Do you think we're timing this key? I think we're timing this key right now. I think we have several minutes on this clock. Am I doing a ton of damage? No. Could I be doing a little bit more? Wait, who's doing the password? Emerald Ocean. No, wait, we can come here. Plus mail. Is your Ironfur still macroed? Absolutely it is. I'm playing the Elune's chosen Ironfur macro build, yeah. So, oh yeah, I'll tell you some drama. So I did get into a heated discussion earlier today, actually. I did. So actually, yeah, Gfo, it is fine. Now listen, Beyblades, I will tell you this, and I'm not calling anyone out. I'm not going to try to call anyone out. But all I'm saying is, there was a bit of a heated discussion. I got jebaited. It wasn't a rage bait. It was just a, I don't like unintentional or intentional bullying. People should be able to play the game. It's a fucking game, man. And Guardian Druid should be able to play the build that they want to play. Because if it was genuinely like 70,000% behind, then we would be defying the laws of physics and English, because 70,000% behind is not really a thing. But the point is, macroing Ironfur is absolutely totally fine. Is it as much damage as you could possibly do? No. Is it acceptable levels of damage? Absolutely. People don't min-max their damage even if they are playing a full raised Druid of the Claw build. In fact, most people when they play Druid of the Claw tend to mess up their rotation so poorly that they do less damage. And in fact, you should have been macroing your Ironfur this whole time. And people will say, no, 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 you can't macro Ironfur. And I would say, why? And they say, well, you know, we have clips of Squish and everyone, and he can't even B-res his party. You want to know the solution to this problem? Because this is all, literally, watch this. Let's assume that somebody died right now. I click that button and I B-res, it's done. Congratulations, problem solved. I have a mangle on my bar that is simply not macroed. So if there's ever a situation where I really need rage, I hit this thing right there. Boom, done. Congratulations, problem solved. And you're like, well, what if I need to hold rage for the pack after this? And I say, okay, so then you just hit Moonfire at the end of the thing. And you're that's fine. And you go, no, but like, what if you need to do this? I'm like, okay, so you just make a plan for it. Like, there's no reason you shouldn't macro it. Macroing it, like, you don't have to, but it helps a lot. Like, I went from a few hundred wasted rage because I was mouse wheeling scrolling. And to be fair, I was doing a really good job with the mouse wheel scrolling, but still, just macro, dude. And the problem is that if you sim it, it's not a good idea. On paper, it's not a good, but it's a rhetoric that has been somehow developed, and then people get really tribal about it. And it's like, we can have a conversation, and you could try to convince me that you shouldn't macro it, but if your argument is any of the three things, like, I just solved it, like, in 2 seconds. So I'm not really a big fan of anyone who thinks you have to play the thing that sims the best. No, you have to play the thing that's going to work best for you, which is not necessarily the most optimal thing. And let me explain it like this, okay? Yeah, no, you can macro Ironfur. No. The thing is that all of the bears that are highly rated in the world, pretty much all of them macro Ironfur. Like the bears who were doing 21s were macroing Ironfur, okay? I used to think, yeah, and then I macroed it, and I immediately changed my mind, though. But you also still do, yeah, no, I know. I legit did more damage. Yeah, exactly. That's everyone does, though, GFO, because you can actually only scroll wheel so far. The T is not being bad at bear. So here's the T, actually, though, okay? What you should do is you should play the game however you want to play the game. But the actual T is this, all right? I'm tired of WoW being this thing that you have to, ultimately, if you don't, and this is the one thing I can't stand, because I'm fine with people saying, oh, don't macro or whatever. This is just a min-max thing. Like, can you still enjoy the game? Yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to make a fuss about this. But if you tell me that you're shit at bear, and you are a bad bear player, you're shit and you're trolling your team if you don't do this thing, that I have a problem with, because that's simply not true. If I was trolling my team, we wouldn't be timing this right now. Like, I'm not trolling my team by deciding to play this way. That is what I have a problem with. Do you see the difference? One of them is like, hey, guys, if you want to be optimal next season in Midnight, we're going to have to play kind of like this. That's fine. That's a fair conversation. I like this. This is absolutely reasonable. But the other one is saying you are a failure of a human being if you decide to play the game the way that you want to play the game. It's like, whoa. If I wanted another full-time job, I wouldn't do this. You know what I mean? That's what I just have a fundamental problem with. So things should be a conversation, not like a one-sided thing. So there's still, technically, macroing Ironfur is not as optimal as you could be, but in practice, it ends up being better. What abilities do you macro to? Like Mangle and Thrash. You just macro to Mangle and Thrash, and it's very easy to do. I have it in my Discord. There's a section of Discord that has like how to macro stuff for all tanks, but basically it just looks like this. This is the full macro. It's very easy. You can just copy-paste this straight from my Discord if you'd like. Now, granted, in pre-patch, it's a little bit worse. And in beta, when you actually get to Midnight, it will be significantly worse, just so you know. That will be more of a problem when you actually get to beta. You're going to have to make decisions about the macro. So right there, I just cast this, and then I do that. And then let me make sure all the suitcases are done. Voila. So that was a moment where I went to B-Res, and I just took an extra global. But that's fine. Thrash plus Mango. Yeah, so here's the thing, though. Is it because in beta Rage isn't as abundant? It's because you will definitely be playing with Raze, almost certainly. There will be a build that doesn't. So if I play with Raze, the problem is that I am actually significantly doing this, though. Ironfur is a stupid spell. I kind of agree with that, to be fair. Because of the new talent position with Raze, and the fact that we have Ursoc's Fury, and the fact that we have Killing Blow when it gets fixed, it's currently bugged, and the fact that we have our Apex talent, among other things, there are many reasons why you don't want to be spending all of your Rage on Ironfur. They remove Thorns of Iron, so it is just the DPS loss. But it is not necessarily a tanky loss as EC. So if you just want to tank, so a lot of times the context of WoW is completely missing, where people will say, yeah, I know people love Raze. I agree, personally, but some people. What is the name of the plater profile? I can just link it to you, Pampa, after, but this is literally pure base plater. I don't think I'm using anyone's profile right now. I can link it to you, though, after. I just logged in, and this was whatever is base profile. Yeah. I'll happily link it to you after. Ironfur costs Rage, activated GCD. No, it doesn't activate a GCD, though. It is off the GCD, to be fair. It has its own GCD, to clarify. But it is, in fact, off the GCD for what it's worth. At a certain key level, you might have to min-max stuff. We forgot Lust. Oh, okay, Lust last boss, no problem. So at a certain key level, if I actually get damage checked and I walked in and this was a 22 and I'm like, damn, we're losing a little damage here, then I could decide to play it. I don't think it should be on the cooldown. That'd be really bad. Yeah, no, that would be really bad. The initial press did not have a GCD. Activates a small GCD for everything else. It is completely off GCD as far as I know, Harith. I could be wrong, and that is the only reason you can macro it. So you can't macro abilities that have anything, though. Yeah, I guess you just lost the start here. It's no problem. It's got its own unique thing that happens, but basically you can macro it. I could be wrong on that. That is not my field of expertise. But the drama is that someone, if you say in any way that it is shit to play the game, but it's like, bro, whoa. I completely forgot this boss had portals. It's been a little bit. I was on a portal, my bad. It's just that I don't like that rhetoric. That's all. That you're actually trolling your team. It's like, are you a good tank? Did you die? Did you need external healing? Boss, where are you going, man? Hey, boss, can you come over here, man? Could last longer. Hello, boss? We can go square. At the last second. Hold on, let me get through this first, and then I'm going to go on this rant. So basically, though, the T is just, I got debated because of those words that just, you are a shit bear if you don't do this. But people will read that. Like, a lot of times, you might be surprised at how many people are new to a class, go into a class Discord and ask a question. Have you ever done that? Has anyone here ever actually done this where you're looking to learn, I don't know, priest, and you go into the priest Discord and you say, hey, I'm new to this. I just want to ask, can I play Void Weaver instead of this? And they're like, absolutely not. It is so bad. You are trolling if you play that. I'm like, are you? Or is it like 5% worse? Because 5% worse is not nearly as bad as they're making it out to be, you know? What's up, Deadly Ace? Oh, yo, I saw you on the Patreon, man. Exactly. And I don't like that, Timmy. Because that should be a safe place. Like, class Discord should actually be a relatively safe place. That's what I think, at least. Roar, go. Oh, sorry, I might have trolled my team. I might have went too fast. Let me focus. I'm kind of bad at this, boss. 1 second. I'm backing up. Yeah, basically, you should be able to ask. That's what they're there for. Class Discords are not necessarily a place that all the professional players go to ask questions. They're a place for beginners to go and ask questions. And I think that that's actually so important. There needs to be an environment like that. We're going to do one more. Let me call this out here. Yeah, just sim it. And the simming thing is a weird thing. Nice, it's right here. Perfect. He's gonna... No, we have no more phase, though. Is the best Discord? I actually don't know about the priest Discord. All I can tell you is that I've had one experience in a certain Discord that I will literally never go back there, even if I have questions. And I will be honest with you. This is a moment of vulnerable admission. Don't repeat this, okay? I'm going to pretend like I'm definitely not live. The Resto Druid Discord is, like Obi-Wan says in Star Wars, a hive. The Resto Druid Discord. I went in there once. No, listen, here's what happened. And the reason is because I was told that I didn't even know this about my mother. But here's what happened, okay? I played a unique Resto Druid build in a key last season. And then I linked them a log. And I said, hey, I'm just sharing. This is a cool thing. I've never seen anybody play this, okay? And I just shared with them that I was boomy weaving. Yeah. I was just sharing with them that I did like a boomy weaving key. And they were like, I cannot believe you fucking played this garbage. And I was like, whoa, like, I know it's not meta, but I just sharing it. Like, it worked. It was pretty cool. Like, here's the log. And they were like, you should never have been born. And I was like, bro, what? Like, I just shared, like, I'm not even arguing. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not a Resto Druid main. And I literally, somebody told me, they were like, I can't believe your mother gave birth to you. And I was like, bro, what the just happened? I was just sharing a log, man. Like, I was just sharing, like, a completed run that we timed. And I was just like, how did this happen? So, yeah, I don't go back in there again. That is a true story. Because I like trying different builds for what it's worth, though. GG's. That was a clean key, by the way. Just shut down all the class discords. I don't know. A lot of people use them, man. What about that Resto Shaman which raged on you when you failed to 12? Yeah, that was a good one, too. But that wasn't in a class discord. So I'm gonna have to, so one thing that happens for sure is that, have you noticed the fact there is a thing that happens? This is every discord. This is not specific. It's just every discord has some people which don't play the game very competitively, but are very active in that discord. They apparently, oh, hi, Onyeta. You were good. Thank you for showing the world that Survival Hunter is actually awesome. Yo, add me, by the way. Have I added you, Onyeta? Are you actually a Survival Hunter? Because I don't see many of them. Yo, add me. I don't have a lot of space. I got to delete some people. Hold up. Down. Let's find some people. I got to go to a letter I haven't looked at. Old Matto. I'm not going to delete her. I know her. J. Claire. Invite me to your key. Who's this? GFO. Oh, this GFO person. Last online 5 minutes ago. Maybe we played before at the end of Dragonflight. I feel like I recognized your name, but I couldn't remember where. Have you considered? Yeah, you know, that's what happened, though. There's a difference between use and abuse. We did it. All right, what 21 is this? Is this a reasonable? 21 ego. Kind of doable, I guess. I guess if we want to just run a 21 eco. Okay, here. Jam Soup. I don't know. I don't recognize off the top of my head who Jam Soup is. All right, bye, Soup. Your name has soup in it. I don't like soup. Cat. We know Cat. We know Cat's obviously this Cat. Pretty good wrestler. Shami at time 21. Docs. Iron. Docs. Damn. Which talent is better for Bear? So here's the conversation for Bear. The one that I am playing is significantly less damage. However, not significantly, just it is less damage, but it feels super smooth. I am actually immortal and I cannot die. And it's very chill to play, so I am currently playing this. All builds are linked in the Discord. If you are curious whatsoever, all of my builds will always be linked in Discord, whatever I play. So this is there. This is the one I'm playing right now. You could swap a few talents. Like if I wanted to play Raise, I would go like this. Otherwise, I'm just playing through the Mastery node, a little bit of extra damage. I would like to pick up Brambles. In fact, if I'm really tanky, what I could do is actually play here for just a tiny bit more damage. This would actually be an acceptable thing to do. If I'm really not worried about living whatsoever, this would be fine, just to pick up Brambles. A few percent DPS might not be a bad idea. But in beta, this build will change slightly. Just so you know, when Midnight actually comes around, I'll have to swap a few things. But as of right now, it feels pretty chill. Pre-patch and Midnight are not going to be the same because the Apex talent changes the Guardian Druid rotation and priority just a little bit. So Sally, there are 3 builds, I would say, at the moment, prevailing theory. I made a whole video talking about the talents if you'd like to watch the whole thing. But effectively, you have Druid of the Claw, which is going to be probably the highest potential damage that you could have. You have Druid of the Claw right here. And this is going to be that sort of Ravage Raise playstyle. Then you have Elune's Chosen with Raise and Elune's Chosen without. You also have Druid of the Claw with and without Raise. Raise, until we get our Apex talent, doesn't hit that hard. Jove says, easy clap. I don't really... Does anybody want to come before I fill this? Does anybody in particular want to come? DPS spot open. I would like more cheesecake today. That is what I would like. Well, cheesecake does sound kind of delicious. Do be sounding kind of delicious. Finally, Disc Priest feels play again. Elko, Disc Priest on beta is pretty decent. I'll try Druid of the Claw. Yeah, try it if you want. There's a build linked in my Discord that does not have Raise, but you can also play it with. I've just seen some logs, so as an example, a log was shared where... Hi, RFA, how's it going? A log was shared to me that they did 26K with a full Druid of the Claw thing. That was what I heard from the Guardian Druid disc earlier, and that was a log that was shared. I did 21 to 22K for what it's worth. I love Oracle, hope it stays strong. Voidweaver was tough on beta, but Oracle was good. That was kind of the prevailing theory. All right, 21 Can we take Sentinels on 21? Probably. They seem chill. Everything's chill. I don't know. Dude, G-Fold, no problem. Here, let me respond to this. Hold up. I got you. Make sure, is my screen being shared? Because sometimes GFO sends me feet pictures, and I just want to make sure that no one else is getting to see them. That's an exclusive thing for my eyes only. My screen is not good. You can't see my Discord messages. That's good. Sometimes she shares me feet pictures, and sometimes, yeah. And I share with her me in a maid outfit holding a bottle of Nutella, but that's unrelated. I don't know anyone. Oh, dude, you're fine. Someone created a bounty. It's not my maid outfit. The best part about that story is all of the context that surrounds it. It's a treasured photo that GFO will share with no one, and you will never see the light of day. However, I will say that the story surrounding the maid photo is so much better than anything you could possibly think of. I'm just actually, for what it's worth, whatever you think the story is about this Nutella photo, because Nutella is really the primary focus, that and glutes. But no, the story surrounding the photo is significantly enhances the actual photo. Now I need to know the lore. All right, GFO, at some point, I'll tell you the lore. I've seen you post in a maid outfit already. That's definitely not me, Timmy. Dal has, for what it's worth, though. You're kind of in a flow state. All right, bet. Let's flow. I mean, if we fail it, we fail it. I'm not fussed. Let's try it, though. I'm not even using the right flask right now. Also, I'm not tracking anything. I don't know if you've noticed it, but this my cooldown manager is not even on right now. Okay, you want my plater profile, right? Message me on Discord individually if you want it. I can send it to you, but I'm pretty sure it's just completely base plater. I have not customized it at all. Right? The indestructible turtle just means pull bigger. So, Madden, I think that in terms of being really good as a tank and being really good as a healer, I would say that it is significantly overrated to min-max your own damage as a healer and a tank. It depends, and I'm not saying you should do no damage and accept the fact that you are, in fact, just a turtle. As a healer, especially in beta, but even on retail, there are plenty of Resto Druids who got title for being a good Resto Druid, but basically never went cat form. And there are plenty of Resto Druids who let their team die by trying to greed cat form, and they don't get title. You don't, like, the difference between doing 800k and 1 mil as a healer is a few seconds off a key timer. The difference between doing 25k overall and 22k overall right now on pre-patch, give or take those numbers, technically speaking, if I did 20,000 overall damage and you did 25, then that's a 25%. I'm doing 25% less damage than you. But when you actually take an objective look, you zoom out a little bit, how much time does that save on this Ecodome 21? Let's say at the end of this key, let's say I have 20k. Let's keep it real simple. I have 20k. You have 25. So what's the difference in timer? 5k DPS, damage per second. And that's AoE as well. That's not single target. That's a really good question. You should ask yourself that, and you should really do the math. So if we miss this timer by 3 seconds, that's on me. Then maybe if I was just playing a little bit of a greater build, then I could, if I was min-maxing my damage just a little bit harder, maybe we would have timed it, you see? Possibly. Maybe, or maybe not. And maybe that has absolutely not anything to do with anything. And it wouldn't have mattered. Because the poll was this or whatever, you know? Almost nothing. So that, I agree with Madden. Your DPS being able to hit way harder is significantly more important, which means that my ability to group polls, my ability to play tank well is important. That is an underrated skill. Can I pixel stack the mobs so that all of their abilities cleave properly? Can I telegraph my movement so that they know where to put their blizzard as a frost mage? Can I all these little min-maxes, that actually does matter. Yeah, did I pace the dungeon correctly? Did I chain? Did I not? Did I understand how Arson's 2-minute cooldown worked? Did I... Yeah. I'm not saying go slow and just turtle. I'm just saying, you know, on top of how's threat and beta depends very much. Threat is a thing, Timmy, where it's just very much tank dependent. Like, there are some tanks that have incredibly good snap threat and other tanks that don't. There are some tanks that just are target capped on some abilities and some that are not. Bear is good if you play Elune's Chosen. If you play Druid of the Claw, you have to game just a little bit more for threat. It's not a problem, but you just kind of have to send a Ravage early. If you're trying to completely min-max your damage, which, by the way, there's a very free video explaining the Apex talent. It's a 5-minute rant about just the Guardian Druid Apex talent. Ask yourself if that's something that you really want to do. It probably will get fixed, but goddamn, right now, that is how you min-max the Apex talent. It's on Patreon. Holy. I'm thinking about that at all times. Now when I play beta, I'm thinking about this version of Guardian, and I'm like, oh, man. That's tough, dude. That's tough. That's a lot. I'm really thinking now a lot about this. So that depends. Is it worth you going that far? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. But either way, that's the Druid of the Claw Apex. And it is annoying. I hope they fix it. Just saying, if I played in arrays, I might do more damage. I have to pull smaller. Maybe, yeah. I agree with you, Matt. And for what it's worth, that's how I think about the game as well. For what it's worth, I agree with you. I am a big fan of be tanky tank. You can't do damage as a tank if you can't pull big. Although the argument will be that somebody who's good at Druid of the Claw will be able to do both, which I accept. Which is very fair. Druid of the Claw should not have any damage problems comparatively. I can just keep playing this exact build. I don't know, it's been working for me. I mean, this will take, what, a second off the key? 2 seconds? It's not a problem. This build is so omega tanky that he doesn't even need to keep Urshield on me, but I also think that Rain is chilling because he's a Giga healer, and he doesn't really have to worry about much. All right, let's go. If I can live there with greedy talents, well, that's how a lot of tanks play, to be fair. If you think that tanking or healing is an independent game, you know. Oh, yeah, Timmy knows that, though. Yeah, it will be a Brambles diff, Soap. That's true. Soap, if you want a game, you let me know. But don't show me your browser history. No, the beta. Yeah. I think that beta threat has a fundamental problem, which is just it's beta. So people were like really eagerly awaiting to blast. Like one thing on beta right now is that no one actually kicks. Like literally no one kicks on beta at the moment. And the reason is because they're so focused on their new rotation that they don't really think about it. All right, this would be a 21 Ecodome pre-patch. I'm going to pull it relatively safe. I still don't think that I need to be doing this any which way. So I know that I'm going to go Thrash here for aggro, right? I'm going to Thrash here as I walk past. I'm going to group him, and then I'm going to Boomy form, Starfall, go back into Bear form, and I have aggro here. And then I'm going to Vortex Typhoon, get this range kick over here, and then I'm going to pixel stack the mob. See this? Now this is big damn. See how this right here? Everyone knows exactly where the mobs are. This is me enabling my team to do big damn. You see the difference? Where I'm not thinking, how can I min-max my own globals, although I did, and I'm doing just fine. But it's actually thinking, how can I help my team? Yeah, no, my health won't move at all this key. But the other thing is that I'm still doing damage. Like, my damage is not exactly low. It's just not as high as it could be. Now, there is a world where I could have pulled this with the previous pull, but I think it's just a lot safer not to. So we'll go here. I don't think I need to route this that aggressively. These are the decisions I would make. Maybe pre-patch is like a 22. I have to start routing incredibly aggressive. Maybe it's 23. But one thing that I always look for in a season is, what's the fail? How do we fail, by the way? And I think, how can I avoid that failure? That is normally what I think about pretty much at all times when it comes to tanking keys. Can I route it so that we don't fail? Not can I route it so that it would be really fun if we were in the MDI, for what it's worth, though. I'm 5 inches from my screen, mouth open, making sure I don't mess up. I hope that I can make tanking a little bit more accessible to people, Tuchikul, because tanking is actually a really chill time for me. I don't worry that much with it. I'm going to in-cap roar here. Even when we actually play for real IO keys in the season, I'm a pretty chill dude. I don't want to stress that much. If I have to stress, I'm not really interested in playing that way, though. That's true. But even when I play other tanks, I mean, I'll do the same thing if I'm playing my Paladin or whatever. The only thing I can't play like that is probably Blood Death Knight. That tank requires me to actually be focused, obviously, all the time, because you miss a Death Strike and GG's. Yeah, I mean, so that's one of the reasons I play Bear, though, and I'm very vocal about that for what it's worth. I've never once thought, oh, you guys, Bear is like the hardest tank. Like, goddamn, this tank has so much min-max. I will tell you right now, don't clip me out of context, but let me make a hard take, okay? Bear is the hardest tank. Guardian Druid, there's not a single other tank that has to work as hard as Guardian Druid. Oh my. Guardian Druid is just the hardest tank by far. No, I've never said that. It is the easiest tank, and it's the most straightforward tank, and that's why I like it. That's why I play it. I'm very aware of it. I chose it intentionally. That's why it's my favorite tank, though. We had this talk on your YouTube comment about tanking the stress of routing. I talked about my sticky note tech. Oh, that was you, Timmy? I didn't realize that was you. I don't recognize the names. Like, if you watch on YouTube and you have a different name there, and you join Discord and you send me a really cute photo of your cat, then that's also really cute or whatever, but I don't actually know your name. Tanking, the role has so much pressure. Yeah. Like right now, my brain is pretty engaged because there's so much that I want to make sure that I do. I want to have my Lunar Beam down before these ads come in because Lunar Beam is Giga for Snap Threat. And then I'm going to make sure that I have the Thrash right away. I held it for a second to make sure I had aggro on those. And then as these guys come in, I'm going to be here. And I don't really have to worry about much else. But if I was playing another tank, look at my positioning. See how I'm not getting hit in the back? I've positioned myself so the boss is meleeing me and these two guys are in front of me. I have Bark Skin now. This is all stuff that just happens in the background of my head because it's route memorization. If you want damage, go Prot Pally. No, I mean, even Guardian Druid, depending on tuning, can do more damage than Prot Pally. It just depends on tuning in the season. I can tell you right now, so I'm going to pre-Vortex, have the Thrash up. There you go. And I've planned it so that I have damage here. Canadian Songbird. Do we have these songbirds in Thailand? They're basically like mockingjays, and they are so annoying. Not you. I'm sure you're fine, Canadian, but these mockingjays in Thailand are so loud, and they're always around. They have a very distinctive chirping noise. I feel like it's going to be a third straight season with Demon Hunter as the meta tank. I don't think they're going to let that happen, but I don't know right now. Maybe. It's possible that that does happen, actually, though. Well, Protection Warrior looks fun to play. That depends on your definition of fun. For me, Protection Warrior is... I don't like the spammy shield slam reset playstyle of it. So there have been different versions of it over time. I actually think that Colossus is more fun to play than Mountain Thane because it's actually very, very similar to Guardian Druid, except one big difference. You want to know the big difference? You get procs, and the procs are RNG. And I don't like tanking when tanking is RNG. I like being able to tell you what I'm going to press before it happens. But this is a personality thing. I made this video. It's a very cool video. And it's one of my favorite things to discuss. There are clearly personality preferences when it comes to what classes you like in World of Warcraft. Have you noticed this before? So, for example, people who like Holy Priest versus Resto Shaman versus Mistweaver tend to have certain personality traits. And people who like Guardian Druid versus Blood DK tend to have different personality traits in real life. Because they fundamentally give you something different. Have you noticed that? I think it's actually a fantastically interesting point that not all things are created equal in terms of their personality. So, for example, and let me put it this way, there are predictive tanks and there are reactive tanks. So the predictive tanks are the ones who play chess before the key starts. And they go, all right, I know I'm going to walk into the first pole, thrash there, go here, and then I'm going to incarn. I'll have incarn for 30 seconds. While I'm in incarn, I'll press this, this, and that, and then I'm going to bark skin. And yeah, basically, I draft a plan before the thing happens, right? What if you only play meta? What's your personality? You probably weren't loved enough as a child. And now you feel the constant need to prove yourself. Or perhaps you were loved so much that you felt like a burden on those who loved you. And now you feel as though if you don't create value in your current life today, maybe all that effort wasn't worth it. It's like you're trying to pay something back that you don't actually have to pay back. What's up, Evlo? Good morning. Please tell Caleb to finally do some damage. He was trying. I think maybe he was being ethical. What class is Caleb? He's playing Dev right now. He's not playing AUG for sure. We're taking the Sentinel because I don't know how to skip him. Straight up, I never actually did the skip, so I don't know how to do it, and therefore I'm not going to chance this key by doing a skip that doesn't actually need to happen. Let's just not pull two of them, huh? All right, here we go, though. AUG on beta is surprisingly good, which is maybe a bit concerning. Like, I don't know. I don't think AUG is actually good for the game, though. Also, hi, Enyo. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of AUG being legitimately good. Also, these pulls are where you'll actually see my health drop for pretty much the first time. Pixel stacking the mob. See this? This enables my team to do as much damage as possible. Also, personally, if I wanted to save my health bar, what I would do is I would go kite this out, but if I keep the mobs pixel stacked, then my team can do more damage and kill the Sentinel much faster. I'm assuming that Rain has a plan, but these Sentinels are pretty nasty mobs to be taking at this key level. I frenzied regen shield myself with a Dream of Cenarius proc, and here we go. I mean, I'm taking damage. I'm just rotating incredibly well. I've had full coverage on this pull. Do you know what full coverage means? As in, like, there's been no time where I've been without a cooldown. I rotated my Incarn to Lunar to SI to Bark to this. You try out Brewmaster? No. Brewmaster is actually, to be fair, like, I think I did it once or twice, but effectively, Brew is the one thing I'll be very open about. I don't like it, but I'd be willing to try it for like a dare or something. It's at some point I'll play it because I also said that about Holy Priest and I was wrong. Like straight up. I was just wrong. I actually do like how Holy Priest plays, but it was my initial assumption and the previous version of Holy Priest that I didn't like. So I think it's super important that I actually get a chance to play the thing before I judge. So I guess so bored. For me, the enjoyment of keys doesn't actually come from playing a very hard spec. It comes from doing well on the role that I choose to play. So if I play healer and no one dies, I feel rewarded. If I play tank and I'm like just a really good tank and look how stacked these mobs are and I enable the success of my key, then I feel rewarded. For me personally, that's how I view it. But again, there are different fundamental personalities. Like, people who really enjoy Brew and Blood DK tend to be a little bit more, ooh, I got a game, I got a game. Like, if you saw them outside of a grocery store, you might be a little concerned and think, should I call someone? Or like, because their personalities, it's not 100%, this is a generalization, but the idea is they tend to prefer a more dopamine spiky kind of FPS type game where they're like, man, I got a game, I want a game, I got a game right now, can't look away, got a game. And it's like, okay, that's not how I like to play it for what it's worth though. I want to basically say, I am not going to die this key. I know for a fact that I will not perish. That's how I want to be able to play the game. So I want that security because when I play games, I'm looking for comfort, not pain. It's like the people who are like, I don't want peace. I want problems. Like this. What plater profile? The completely base one for what it's worth. I don't actually know if I have a profile or not right now. That's a weird pat. So why don't we just go pull these guys here. And then we'll go over here. I think 19 minutes is pretty good. Let me rebuff. I don't think I did that earlier. And then we'll pull this guy in. And then Sentinel after. A lot of arcing zaps here, so we'll go that guy after here. Watch the zap. Only after. Yeah, that's why not early. Because I figured one of these would go off. I did watch the Bear Aggro video. Very helpful. You're welcome. I really actually think that that's the type of thing that will help a lot of people. You will see, I almost guarantee, by the way, you're going to see other people do it. I want to make one for every tank. I think I might have got a bit too min-maxy. Yeah, like I just did it there. The Starfall Weaving is not as scary because we got a new talent that basically lets us shift a lot more safely, even as Elune's Chosen Bear. I think I should pull those 3 into the Sentinel pack when people get here. So I think they're going to get this kick. I think we're going to pull this and the Sentinel pack, and then we can do a pull after. I will live, no problem. We're going to go over here, pull this guy. I'm going to kick the Ritualist, even though the first guy... No! Bossy Sore! Why would you open on the pack? I didn't actually have full threat on. Hold up. Gaming now. I did my kick. Hold up. Completely different from Bear, correct. Now, that's the thing. Again, some people really like the franticness stuff, though. Yeah, he stayed true to his name, and he got broken open. Basically, it's okay to have different preferences on what you do or do not like. Yeah. Actually, like, one thing that I find fun for me is occasionally swapping off of Bear to something that is a little bit more frantic, as you say. I think frantic is the perfect word to describe. What's your personal favorite Guardian spec so far? When you say that, Boogs, you mean what I've liked over time in my life? Like my favorite iteration of Bear ever? When you say favorite Guardian spec, or you mean like favorite Bear form? Out of curiosity, if that's what you mean. Do you mean like my favorite Bear form of all time? To maintain aggro, you just have to get to the pack first, for sure. I think my favorite hero talent? Personal favorite Guardian spec. Oh, you mean like which? I like Elune's Chosen. It fits my playstyle. It allows me to basically talk to you like this as I am streaming. Whereas if I was playing something else, I might struggle to maintain a full conversation with you and also tank a 21 at the same time. Since Midnight pre-patch. So I'm, for example, if you go look, they're going to tell you what's technically the best, right? I really like this still just same up macroed Ironfur type playstyle. That's what I've been enjoying, so I'm doing that. It is not technically optimal for damage. So if you're thinking from that perspective about what's going to be your best damaging-wise, then you would play Druid of the Claw, but it's not that much more damage. So if you take a look in this key, I'm doing 22, 23 overall, something like this, 21 maybe even 20. But if I was playing Druid of the Claw, I could probably put out like 24, 25-ish, give or take. And that's not a big difference, you know, like that's a very acceptable, for me, difference. Some are very bad, like, I find the Apex talent system to be interesting and intriguing, mostly because I don't think it hit very hard. Like, it kind of feels, they're just talents. They're literally just capstone talents. Like, they're not really special. Some of them feel pretty enhancing gameplay-wise, but to be honest, they don't feel, like, crazy good. They're just talents. Midnight feature is going to be Devourer, Demon Hunter, Housing, and open world stuff. I'm a little worried that Midnight might not have enough juice, in fact. Maybe they should add a borrowed power system back. I'm not sure. I might run that. My rotation felt off. So yeah, you could just play this way. There's no, I mean, I'm doing a 21 right now, and I think we're okay. Our timer looks pretty decent. And we're tanking this just fine, though. Only makes 25k, which I highly doubt. More like 30. So, no. Once Apex talent hits for sure, Micah. But we're talking pre-patch. Pre-patch is going to be here for another month. We have an entire month of pre-patch. That's quite a long time to be playing this. So I don't think you should be making beta talents just yet. The only thing that changes is that Raise hits a little harder baseline. But even then on beta, keep in mind that I did a min-max Guardian Druid damage run, 15 Algathar Academy. My Druid of the Claw build did 109k, I think, something like this. I'll have to go find the log. It's all logged. I have it in my Discord. And my Elune's Chosen did 89. So that's, again, about a 25% damage loss. Yeah. Like, that's a lot. I was playing with a Windwalker Monk on, but the logs are linked there. You can go compare them. So my Elune's Chosen basically macroed Ironfur build did, what is it, 15, 20% less than a fully min-maxed Druid of the Claw. I needed less healing for sure, and I was a little bit more sturdy, and I felt a little bit more chill. But do you know how much my DPS were doing? Like how many seconds does that actually take off the key? And then if I do the math and I figure out that it's 15 seconds, I'm kind of like, I'm sort of willing to make that decision. And then what happens is if I ever actually just get to a very high key level where we start running into a timer problem, then I can just swap builds for that key. Like you can play both. They're not different stats. They don't require different secondaries. You could literally just play both. I could be like, hey guys, today I'm locking in and I want to game Druid of the Claw. Easy. Or I could be like, hey guys, today I'm just going to be whatever. Nah, like, it's just the same pulls, basically. It was the same route, give or take. Actually, the one big difference between those two things... aggro for a second. The one big difference between the two routes was we had a death on the last boss, so the last boss took longer as EC, which is actually a big damage loss. If you're trying to min-max your tank damage, an underrated thing that no one ever talks about, but it's like a secret. I'm going to give you secrets. Don't ever tell anyone this, okay? Because this is, if I ever wanted to inflate a log as a tank, there's a super secret sauce. You want to hear it? It's actually like an omega tip if you're actually trying to do damage as a tank. Yeah, play with target cap specs because bosses die faster, but AoE packs live longer. It's not tuning. It's actually just play with target cap specs. Unbelievably helpful tip. Makes a very large difference in your ability to do damage as a tank, because that no one will see an external buff on a log. But if I play with a Windwalker Monk, a Rogue, and a Fury Warrior, I'm a blast, because I get buffed by those things, and on top of the fact that I get buffed by those things, you see? This is a omega tip, actually. Okay, see how far I'm ahead of my team right now? Because I'm looking at our timer. It's a little tight. Hence why I'm going to go gather this. This pull takes me a second to gather, and I'm very independent, so I'm not that worried about it. I thrash here. Again, always be casting, so I'm going to Moonfire. I don't need any healing. I'm sturdy. I'm going to make sure I have thrash taking here, and then I'm going to go over this way. I grab one Gloom guy. So now I'm telegraphing my movements. Everyone knows that they shouldn't be blasting yet because I'm clearly gathering the pack. And I'm going to be independent tank, big bear, big bear, big bear. Watch the gloom bites. This is going to require some focus from me because I'm pretty sure these guys still absolutely clap me. I'm just going to backpedal this a little bit in case that one hits me. It's 3 yards away from each of these gloom bites. I can take that one right there. Sometimes you dodge them as far as I know. And then I'm going to in-cap roar this. Vortex Typhoon now. Keep that shield up in case I do miss a gloom bite. My plater profile is making it very hard to see. I try to kick something. I miss my kick. That is okay. Where are the gloom bites? If I miss a gloom bite, I die, like, instantly. Hold up. One more frenzied regen at the end of Incarn. Don't ask me how I know it's the end of Incarn, by the way. I have no way to track it. It's just memory at this point. Perfect. Boomy form Starfall as I backpedal the gloom bite. Here we go. When are the WoW token? It's 330? That seems like actually pretty high right now. I figured the WoW token would be low at the moment. So now I can take a few of these guys. I can bring them up here, but we don't want to pull. We're going around the corner. There we go. Nice pull, nice pull, nice pull. Wow, that's actually a pretty high WoW token. Okay, so I'm going to SI to gather this. I'm going to go taunt this one, Lunar Beam, and I really don't want to pull that caster to the left. So I thrash. That was a little bit of a weak gather from me, so I'm going to look at the one guy that I'm definitely missing threat on. Go taunt him here, and here we go. 450, that's very high. That's a gloom bite, by the way. My health will drop drastically on each one of them. There's one right there. Perfect. Okay, Vortex Typhoon. Let me pixel stack the mobs right on top of this Waste Creeper. See if I can get them to stay. Perfect. Watch the next Gloom Bite. I'm focused. I'm locked in. No reason we couldn't just time this right now. I think our timer is very chillin'. Like big, big, big chillin'. But at the same time, we let that cast go off. So Gloom Bite here. Keep Frenzied Regen. I am absolutely fine. And yeah. I remember early on in the season, I think it was pre-turbo boost. It was something like a 19 Ecodome, and we were definitely going to time it. I did the pull on last boss, and I missed a backpedal. Like, the key was timed. We had a few deaths early on, but it was definitely timed, and that would have been a nice IO key, yeah? And I missed a backpedal on a Gloom Bite on the very last boss. I made one basically tank mistake, yeah? So that's an egregious tank mistake. You're not supposed to miss that. But we got to the last boss, which means I tanked the rest of the key very well. And you know what happened? I was like, yo, I'm so sorry, team. I let the team down. It's like, bro, I tanked the entire key really well, and I made one mistake where I missed a single backpedal, so I died to an instant clap overlap double Gloom Bite. And no one really blamed me for that, but everybody will remember that I'm the reason we didn't time the key. No one else's mistakes matter, by the way. It's just the tank. If you're a tank player, unfortunately, this is just sort of how it is, that the buck ends with you. You know that quote? It's like it's an American quote, which is basically just saying you are the reason that the key either succeeds or doesn't. Same as a healer. If the last boss here, Rain, makes a mistake and dies and then we lose the key, everybody will be like, man, this healer. But actually, Rain's been playing Omega Giga this whole key. He's been healing all sorts of stuff. Yeah, but they don't talk about the fact that DPS have missed kicks or that I did this or whatever. It's just like the role itself carries with it so much burden that's what everybody remembers. Okay, I got to remember to blink. 7:15, easy. We do the next one, and then I can pull Giga Funnel onto boss. Set my incarn here. Yeah, it's basically if I died at the very end, then I would be tanking this very poorly, right? But that's silly because actually I've done this. I feel like I've tanked this reasonably well. Not perfect, actually. I've made a few mistakes. I can feel myself requiring a bit more salt. Mostly aggro. So, for example, that phase blade right now, I just made a mistake. So Arson took an extra melee. I was supposed to actually go taunt him originally because he shoots out. Which, by the way, absolutely terrible mob design. These phase blades. I love Ecodome. I think Ecodome probably best expansion, but you know, what are Chaos Keys? Yeah, I think that the tank gets blamed for a lot. I think the healer gets blamed for more. I actually think that the healer is probably the most unthanked role. You know what I mean? What's up, Heal Wagon? Good morning. Heal Wagon, do you think you're playing Midnight? I don't think I've actually got to ask you this. Woof Wife. Woof Wife. How's it going? I haven't seen you in forever. How's it going, Woof? Yo, what's up? Yo, I'm doing pretty good. Honestly, healer depends if you're in a coordinated group or not. You will. I'm excited. All right, I'm going to go pull some funnel now. I don't need a lot. Just the phase blades will be fine. No need to pull anything else. So we go grab these phase blades for funnel. So if I just make a tiny little mistake and get hit by something, then yep, keys over. Ecodome low key. What was the best key from the War Within? I want you to think about it. I ranked this the other day. What do you actually think is the best key in the War Within? Do you think the War Within had good dungeons? So keep in mind that Season 1 was Arakara. Holy shit, I went out of bear form. We had Grim Batol, Stone Vault. It's a pretty uncompetitive atmosphere. Oh, did I miss my soul? I did. If I had to heal, I'd only do it with guildies or actual group. That makes sense. God ad can't hear. Oh, man. Yo, thank you for the resub, Woof. I hope you're well. It's good to see you. I would say that Rep Pally is interesting, though. We pulled everything to boss. I gotta sleep. UFC is tomorrow. See ya, dude. See ya, Timmy. See ya, Timmy. Thanks for hanging out. Don't ever City of Threads. Yeah. City of Threads anti-banger. But I have heard that some people, by the way, no. I've heard some DPS say that they loved City of Threads, but that is the most DPS brain take I've ever heard. Because City of Threads as a tank and a healer was not a fun key. Like as a tank, as a healer in particular, you're sweating the whole time, and as a tank, I don't think you're necessarily having a very good time. You know. And like same as Grim Batol. Like if you rank Grim Batol in like a middle tier, that's like you play DPS. Because Season 1 of the War Within was really not a good time to tank or heal in World of Warcraft, I will say. Yeah, especially with pugs. I mean, in higher coordinated groups, you had tech for the third boss, tech for the first boss, etc. But goddamn, you do have to have thick skin. And I think that that's actually a shame, Splotch, because more people don't have thick skin for what it's worth. Like a lot of people They do have an issue. But look at the timer, by the way. So this is a full macroed Ironfur build. Let me ask you a question. Looking at our timer right now, does my tank damage matter? I'm not doing no damage, remember. But look at our timer in 21. Route was clean. We had a few deaths. Not the cleanest key in the world. Doesn't matter. I'm serious. In the next few days, I'm going to make a whole rant video about tank damage. I think. Most learn only with age, not to care what other people think. That's true. And that should be a good thing, Splotch, because most people who play World of Warcraft are older now. No young person plays WoW. It's an old man's game. You basically, if you play World of Warcraft, you got unk energy. As they say, the youngins say. What do you think of tanks going into midnight? I'm thinking of swapping to Prez to Rogue, and I'm thinking about a tank, I imagine, okay? It's either Paladin or Druid. I thought about tanking in Keys. I think that tanking in midnight is actually going to be the hardest role. I think that tanks are going to have the most responsibility going into midnight because healing got significantly easier, let's say by 30-40%. DPSing got even easier than that, maybe by 50%. Like DPSing is much, much, much easier than it used to be. But tanking only got 10% easier. It's easier, but not that much easier. Also, thank you for the hype train, guys. I appreciate it. So the changes to tanks still feel like tanks. Like I'm still playing the same role that I've played this entire time. I don't actually feel like I'm playing a very different role. Healing does not feel the same, and DPSing does not feel the same. They feel fundamentally different. They're simplified. They just have a little bit of a different profile, but I won't say that for tanks. So I would say that there are people who really like the optimization and min-maxing, and they want something very challenging. You might actually like tank, because that'll be a level of optimization that no one in the group has to make. And I think also in Season 1, routing becomes a much bigger issue. GG's. Felt easy. Nice job. Less defensive is a real challenge. For healers as well, there's no Omni cooldown, which is a lot of Giga healers would actually use it and be able to track if somebody was going to be able to help you, right? So I end the key with 20k. We time it with 1:45 left. Is that cool? I think it's pretty chill. Right? This is my damage breakdown. Pretty chill. They took away our best option. Now, you get used to it, Sylar, I will say. Because I've been playing beta for a while, and trust me, you do actually end up getting used to it. It's not the end of the world. You will be okay. It's initially a change, but even for me, when I was healing on beta, I'm just like, not too bad, actually. Not too bad. Everything felt kind of decent with it, though. Which you mentioned in the first video. I wonder about your talents. Right. I see that. Brit just said that. Oh, I want cheesecake now, man. Show the build? Yeah, of course, of course. It's always linked in the Discord, too. All builds and stuff linked in Discord here. Boom. Always. All builds linked in Discord. All builds linked in Discord. I actually think healing is very fun on beta. I think it's the most fun I've had healing. It's a change, but in a weird way, I actually had a really good time healing on beta. What's this? 22 Gambit. Interesting. I feel for like 15 years on and off, but always sometime in key since your raid made me feel... Night healer. Diara? Another time. 15 years or more, I'm getting old. It really depends. Technically, Blood DK? No, not anymore. Not anymore. Let me see. Which tank would you recommend? I'm not new to the game. Yep. Which tank has good survivability? Demon Hunter. Actually, Bear is also very tanky, but now it's super weird. Blood DK lost its niche, man. Sylar, in beta right now, Blood DK is not the most independent healer. Actually, as key levels get higher, that thing needs healing. You need a little bit more support than you used to. The most independent healer at the moment, the most independent tank is Vengeance Demon Hunter. Yeah, that's the old school mentality of like, well, Blood DK is the self-sustaining tank. But keep in mind, Ethereum, Demon Hunter is bugged positively. So if they fix it, and there will be a lot of tuning, It's too easy, too early to say. Most tanks feel okay, but the new Midnight Beta dungeons are not like pre-patch, man. They hit hard. They hit you real hard. If you're a tank going into Midnight, it's not the same as playing this. Which one is fun? Fun is subjective. But there is a video I made about the personality of tanking. If you'd like to try tanking, you should figure out what's your personality. What other specs do you like? 22 again after. Yeah. All tanks except Blood DK and Monk. Well, if you don't like Blood DK and Monk, that means you probably like Warrior, Pally, and this. Isn't Modern WoW just an ARPG? It feels like that with the bug gear, but no. It's a little bit different than ARPG, though. It isn't? Hold up. We'll come back and do Gambit in a second. I gotta go try this, though. I'd wait. I think that Paladin is fun. Some people do, some people don't. Hard to say. Test them. Well, I like Guardian, yeah, but that doesn't mean everybody will. Be right back real fast. I feel so rejuvenated. Listen, I know, that wasn't a 5-minute break. I understand. The cheesecake was really good. Not only did I just eat a cheesecake, I ate about 1,000 calories worth of cheesecake. Listen, man. Oh, yeah. I think I just had... So we have a tub of cheesecake, and I just had a very large amount of it. Amazing. You jump scared me? I'm sorry, yeah. It was about 10 minutes of just eating. I was just literally... So I stand there in the kitchen, and I pet the cat with this hand, and I take the salted caramel and the cream cheese like this. This hand. Okay, 22 Gambarino. Let's go. Let's do it. Do. Stop eating cheesecake every day? Why? It's homemade cheesecake. But Kitty makes it special for me. Why? I like it. But what if I want to eat cheesecake every day? I actually do feel like significantly better. I just needed to eat, to be honest. I like the cheesecake, though. The cheesecake likes me back. So, overall, I'm not upset about this. Wow, delicious. Just pugging a 22. To be fair, Ethereum is pre-patch, and I'm not pugging a 20. We did the 20, then the 21, and now we're in the 22, to be fair. So, we'll see. But it is pre-patch. It's certainly easier. We're chilling. I'm playing like a fun build for Guardian, and I feel pretty immortal. And you can see that we're streaming together. So I wouldn't say this is a pug. The only guy we don't know is the mage. I'm not familiar with him personally. But I do know the healer. That's Rain, of course. Giga Shaman. I know the warlock. That's Arson. You can see the stream together. They're all streaming too. These are Mistweaver. Struggle with 10s. No idea why. Yeah. It's certainly a lot easier. I think it's just a combination of scaling, this and the other. Let's see how 22 feels. Only one way to find out. But here, let me just go ahead and link this because I was having that debate earlier. I would like to see, apparently Quasi did release a statement, and that statement is significant because Rain was just talking about it as I went to say hi to him. He mentioned that Quasi released a statement, and I am kind of curious now. I sort of want to know. Was this 20? Was this 20 Priory or 21 that we did? I think it was 20, to be fair. No, it was a 19. I apologize. That was a 19 we did. Just 19 Priory with macro Ironfur. With macro Ironfur EC build. For reference. Damage. Earlier. Cool. It read like a good reply, but also a bit don't yell at me, yell at them. I don't know. I need to see the actual tweet. Can anyone link me the tweet? I'll have to read it after this, because that is an interesting piece of drama. Oh, hey. Oh, hi. Hello. Oh, you said hey, but I read your name as oh, really, Ala, and then I read it as oh, hey, my bad. Hi. Hello. How's it going? Countdown 10. All right. Hi, TH. How's it going? What are the highest legit keys being done? Oh, it's got to be like a 24, 25, I bet. Killtry, I would imagine that. I guess it's kind of hard to say because the logs are still on Radar.io for the keys that we're using a gear exploit. So it's actually hard to say what the highest legit keys are. I don't know. A flex redeem. All right, I can do that. Ooh, this is the result of all the cheesecake I've been eating. I feel strong. I'm certainly gaining weight, but I don't mind it. I have been wanting to. And I've been going to the gym. I was going to the gym like twice a week. Like honestly, like 2 or 3 times a week. And then this week I've gone 6 days in a row. Today will be day 6. Tomorrow I'm off. Oh yeah, by the way, tomorrow I'm just completely off. I will not be streaming. I'm gonna chillin'. Holy shit, this is the best song ever. Yes. I can't believe I was about to miss He's a Pirate. Do 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 do. A bit. Playing Elune. Yep. You can get 25, 26 with. Only did. Hold up. DOTC right now. Probably more if I fully min-max. But I only did two keys with it. Cool. There you go. We'll see. I think that tank damage is still so dependent on everything else. Alice, do you think you'll play Midnight in the World of Warcraft? Let's do it. What do you think? Also, I'm not using combat potions. To be honest, I should really get combat potions. Ah, another classic song comes up. I only have Shocking Disclosure. LOL. We can use it. Playing Survival Hunter as usual. Ah. Have I played with your Survival Hunter before? I'm not going to lie. I have the memory. Actually, not of a goldfish, because a goldfish would beat me in a memory competition easily. So I have a memory. It's just not a very good one. So I don't recognize your hunter name out of... Do I... Have I played with your hunter? This is how I talk to everybody. I apologize. Oh, Swan. Oh, yeah, I know you. Okay, never mind. I know who you are now. I try my best to remember people, but I can't say I do the absolute best job at it. Standing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's always weird when I hum along to the music that I'm listening to because YouTube can't hear it. So I'm pretty sure anyone who's watching on YouTube just goes, what is he doing? Because if you just see me like randomly raise my hand and I'm jamming, you're like, what is he doing? Because I promise you it's in context. I'm still standing. That war stomp was clutch. Looking crazy is also good for stream. That's true. Sometimes I feel like I should just start stream and say the most divisive things. Sent you a link on Twitch to... Okay, got you. A Reddit post with it scripted there. Interesting. I would love to see that, Jabba, because I don't actually understand what happened. But I've played with Quasi before, and I guess I wasn't expecting it. But I would like to. You sent it on Discord, Jaiba? So see how I'm at this pull way faster than everyone else? That's why I have aggro. Because that guy's about to blast. So I'm just going to Moonfire that one from range. It's just one single shore here, though. You sent it to me, oh, on Twitch itself. Interesting. I'll look. I got canceled for this with a crazy thumbnail on YouTube. Did he really? No way. No way. Did he? No shot that's what he posted. Really? Wait. I'm in the middle of a key. I can't. I gotta look, though. Hold up. Messages. His post was on Discord. I can't send images. I'm opening this right now, though. It's time to address the Wu-Tang situation. Uh-oh. What's my Wu-Tang? Prove my humanity. All right, bet. I've never opened Reddit on this computer, I don't think. We need a live Wu reaction. You're getting one right now. I'm literally reading it as I'm doing this key. That's why I play Guardian Druid. That's why I'm doing. Oh, classic song. Great. What was there for me when I was canceled? Wait. Quasi's response. Don't let anything else pull here. This one you have to be more careful. This is a 22, by the way. Like I'm kind of playing, but I'm taking enough. My health bar is actually moving a little bit now in the 22. This is pretty chill, but still. Let's move over here. We don't have a lot of ability to kind of actually slow things aside from the Frost Mage. So if things start running and getting out of hand, then they get out of hand, you know. Let's SI to fill that. I missed my kick. Okay, QUI was there before LVUI. Quasi-responsive masterclass in avoid... Oh, man, the Reddit post is already shaming this in a bad light. Holy shit. Wait a second. Quasi's UI response is a masterclass in avoidance, dishonesty, and bad faith. What? That's a lot. All right, what's his response? Who owns the rights to put sugar in canned drinks? Wait, why are we talking about canned drinks and sugar? Wait a second. What? Wait, I'm very confused. There are only so many ways to skin a panel in WoW. That's what I was thinking. It's a mathematical technique. I was thinking that too, to be fair. That was my first thought, though. I'm your sugar? Thank you, Uddles. You know what? I'll take it. Thank you. Can we get the link to it? Yes. This is a Reddit post. I kind of just want to read his response because I'm curious now. Let me see if I can link it to you at this, though. So you can, I was about to say, this is biased. Like, I know how to read biased news, which is every news station that you ever listen to ever in your entire life. All things are biased, but still, this feels incredibly biased. Vortex Typhoon, perfect stop usage there. Hold up. I send you the screenshots through Discord. We can go through it together, but as of right now, this is the Reddit post that I was looking at, for what it's worth. Yeah. That Vortex was smooth. Thank you. It's kind of hard because today's ping is not that bad, by the way. 250 world ping is... Yesterday was like 365, and I could not land a single Vortex, man. Actually, we're only melee here. How are you visually tracking Ironfurs? Nothing, Aaron. I am not. I am not tracking anything. I am literally playing completely from just memory, and because it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I have 0 cooldown manager right now. I can't, for example, track my Bark Skin or my Lunar Beam or my Frenzied Regen or my Incarn or whatever. But also, I've been playing Druid for long enough that I can kind of just tell you based on pure memory. And I'm usually within like a second or two of being right. So I can tell you when the Incarn expires, but I technically have nothing on my screen that would show it, except for top right, obviously, if I want to check. So we can pull this directly in because there's no... So right about now, it has 12 seconds left. I don't know. I'm not looking, actually. Right about now, it has about 5 seconds left, so I can hit this last Frenzied Regen. Am I right? Yeah, I was right. This playstyle for Bear, one of the reasons I like doing it this way is because of how chill it is. That's specifically why I enjoy playing Bear like this, though. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, a 22 is not the same as it was pre-patch. Like, a 22, it looks a lot more impressive, but it still hits hard enough. It's still a hard key. I wouldn't say it's easy, necessarily, but Guardian Druid was always tanky in the actual season as well, so that was never its problem. But you can see, like, my health doesn't move. But there are little things that you do to min-max your damage when you actually want to. And it's not so much rotation, it was the fact that I could wild charge instead of run to that dude just now. Okay, here. I kind of still need to pay attention. Yeah, but I like being able to chat and game at the same time. Like, that's kind of the thing that I enjoy doing personally, is being able to just stream actively while I am also playing the game at whatever level I would like to play at. So, to be fair, there are some things that I'm very good at. Like there right now, before that Shearing Swings, which actually does hurt at this key level, I know for a fact that I'm going to just Frenzied Regen shield myself. Alright, TH, what are your opinions on the quasi-drama then? Tell me, fill me in. Yeah, fill me in. I'm not up to date with it. It's happening while I'm streaming, though. Could you sing the songs you're listening to over here? Absolutely not, SCP. Patreon karaoke party when? Holy. Now, technically, you can dare me to do that, and someone had before at one point. Oh, let's Incarn here. Before I play, I just can't willy-nilly. So I've been playing beta for a while, and I was playing beta with 0 UI or add-ons, so I'm kind of used to it now. Hey, Anomaly. So Quasi just quit WoW for good. Is that actually what happens? Like, I've played with him before, and he seemed to really like the game. Wow. For good. I mean, for good sounds very... I mean, is that... Are people happy about that? Because I wouldn't be happy about that. Like, that just seems kind of almost a little sad. I almost got one shot. You know, he's done so much for the community, man. He closed his Discord, too. Holy shit. But he's done so much for the game. Like even if he's in the wrong here, that doesn't take away from the fact that he's actually contributed so much to World of Warcraft. Right? Like that's the one thing I don't like about drama like this is people always forget. They forget the years and years of free information and weak aura and UI kits that he's provided for people. Like that doesn't mean nothing. Do you know what I mean? That's my only problem with you know, drama and stuff. Even if he's in the wrong, by the way. Like I don't know, but I just think it's a shame sometimes to forget that he contributed so much. Doesn't matter who it is, anyone. No one's perfect, you know? Yeah, I know. Oh, that is a beautiful polymorph, actually. We can do that. Oh, yeah, I had tagged. It's got to be one of the two things. So do we think that he did it? Like he just straight up copied or... But I don't know. Even if he did, then he just kind of goes, sorry, my bad. Hold up, we got to make sure we kill him before the next burst. I'm going to pull him to the side. Nice, good job. I didn't expect him to actually quit, though. Yeah. Is it his... I mean, it's kind of hard to say, actually, what is or is not your main source of income sometimes, though. Yeah, I know. But, like, for example, if you want to help me with my income, you can try Opera GX. If you want to. If you've never actually done this, though. Because he copied code correct to Ethereum, apparently. That was a beautiful plugin, by the way. That is a free... It does not cost you any money to try it, but it makes me a little bit of money if you want to. Also, it is actually just a legitimately cool gaming browser. That's so interesting, though. Yeah, I was about to... Well, you copy code all the time. To be fair, I definitely think that coding is one of those weird things where people don't really appreciate how it works, because I definitely don't. Like, I have no idea how coding works, by the way. Back to bear form really fast here. I'm about to say that could have actually one-tapped me there. People are just making this a whole drama thing. Yeah, but I don't disagree with him doing that for what it's worth. Like, you gotta try to do whatever you can. Like, okay, let me put it this way, Harith. If I make Omega tank content, let's say I make some of the best tank or healer content or just World of Warcraft content in general, and it helps you do your keys and it makes things way easier for you. And I say, hey guys, I'm going to work really hard on this video. This is really good information, but I'm going to put it on Patreon. So if you want to support, one, then two. But so if you want to support, feel free, but it's going to be behind Patreon. Is that acceptable? If I did that? Is that a problem that I'm technically asking people to pay for really good content out of curiosity? All right, we can double it. I'm tanky enough. Normally for in-card timing, I actually do one, then two, but I know other tanks are doing it this way. Here's what really happened, though. For my add-on that used to be free. But to be fair, like, that's just smart. That's not a bad... It's a bad look, but I don't necessarily disagree with that mentality. Like, if people want to pay people for UI stuff, I mean, a lot of times that's how streamers make money. I don't have a good UI, so I'm not going to charge you for it. But goddamn, like, if I did, would that upset you? If I worked really hard, I guess I'm not copy-pasting it. I don't even know how to copy-paste code, to be honest. So to be fair, that doesn't really make sense. But he did decide to go nuclear, though. It's completely voluntary? Yeah. That's sort of my thought process, Enyo. That's not even close to the same. He literally stole code. Yeah, okay. I don't know if he did or did not, by the way, so that's why I'm using vague terms, because I actually don't know the Gelia. Like, I'm hearing this only from other people. I'm hearing it only from other people. I have not looked into it myself whatsoever, and I obviously haven't talked to him, so I don't know. That is pretty interesting, though. He did already say he was kind of burnt out. And to be fair, but like there are other people who are burnt out on WoW but are just honest about it. Like Max. You know, Max is a giga World of Warcraft content creator, technically. He's probably one of the most popular World of Warcraft content creators, and he literally is like, I don't really care about the game. Like, I log in to do the race, and I don't actually play Mythic Plus, and I very rarely enjoy playing WoW. He's like super honest about it. The one thing I like about that, and I respect it, is that he doesn't try to not be honest about it. He doesn't, like, pretend when he's doing the podcast that it's his favorite thing, and he's, like, sometimes, I guess. But you know what I'm talking about? Like, I think it's okay to be honest. Also, we're listening to the Pokemon theme song now, and this is Omega Giga. I have absolute vibes from this right now. He's making bank on Patreon for some basic window. I can see why he stuck with it. How much was he making? Wait, TH. Okay, did he close that? How much was he making, out of curiosity? I could tell you how much my Patreon makes, but it's not going to be that. No, out of curiosity. I'm always curious about these numbers things. Good content creation takes a lot of time, though. Is lower. I'd put it on Patreon. So I'm going to do both. I'm thinking about how I want to do it. I already have some... Like, I actually have been posting a lot of content on Patreon. Maybe too much. Like, because there's actually... I spend a lot of time making it, and then no one sees it, and I'm like... Holy shit. What the fuck? Really? What? Yo. That's a lot, Gelly. I had no idea. I got 14. Holy shit. What the fuck? He's 5,000? Minimum? Damn. All right, that's a lot of money then. Yeah. All right. Because you get a higher split on Patreon. Holy. Wow. I had no idea it was that. That's some actual money then. That is impressive, yeah. I got 3 of them. There's going to be 1 left. No problem. Go back this way. I can wild charge to immobilize this one. Back over here. I'm going to move this way. Probably just take this frontal with bark skin. Yep. Let it push me back. It's not that hard to find people. Well, I mean, I find it wild that people... I've never paid anyone for their UI, to be fair, though. We are talking about Quasi. You know who Quasi is, Claw? He's had a lot of free UI resources for a very long time in World of Warcraft. Yeah. So apparently he just quit WoW because there was some drama about him potentially stealing the code from someone else and then effectively posting it like it was his own and charging people for it. But I'm repeating stuff now, and I would probably do a lot better, to be honest, if I was okay with just repeating shit like that. But I'm actually not okay with repeating stuff. I like to have my own opinions on things. I'm also fucking up this boss really bad, so let me lock in a little bit. This is actually a 22, you know. This is not... We're about to die, like, right now. I SI to just take this frontal, take the fire. That's okay. Hold up, I gotta lock in. You repeat yourself all the time? I know I do. I repeat myself because for stream, sometimes people are like not paying attention. They're lurking, and then all of a sudden they go, oh, wait, what's that point? And I just repeat it so that everyone can be on the same page and we can have a conversation. So it's actually just a habit that I double tap things, though. I was stream... Fucking Ash. Ash, that is a great message. Oh, I saw Ash's message on... Agreed. Which made me write off. Interesting. Quasi himself legit said in his own... He's breaking TOS and that others get away with it as well. I'm going to get hit by this again. I'm being lazy. Hold up. Guys, oh no, I can't... I'll get eaten by a shark if I go in the water. My job as a tank is not to do damage on this boss, but seriously, the damage I'm doing is really sad. Hold up. I was recently talking about tank damage, but I can't actually do nothing. So, one more. Go back over this way. All right, good job. I was playing that incredibly poorly. That was not my best second boss of Gambit, I will say. Holy. I haven't watched Q since he came out with his Weak Aura boss mod pack. TH, what were you saying? Okay, I'm 100% to get paid add-on profiles being behind... I mean, but a lot of people... Yeah. I was, ranting. My bad. I played that bad. Good job. We'll just take this one, by the way. We're not skipping it. He got caught red-handed. To be fair, it does seem like he was sort of caught red-handed based on his reply. But I wonder if you're just not supposed to reply in situations like this. Like, I wonder if the right thing to do is actually nothing. I have a hard time saying he doesn't seem guilty as charged. But even if he was guilty, I mean, let's say that... Oh, fuck. Was I in that? Not like this. Not like this. Hold up. You're not gonna bait me into throwing this key. You're not. That's it. That's the only time I've died all day today. I have not had a single other real tank mistake except for that one right there. That was like that last 2 fights. I clearly am not locked in. I gotta lock in. This is a 22. We can time this right now. Okay. I am now focused. I don't want to pull that. I kind of want to pull these 2, actually. I think we're gonna be okay if I pull these 2. But don't pull the side pack. Do not pull that 3-pack over. Yeah, we're just going to go these. I'm going to watch that person blasting. I'm going to wild charge over. I'm going to taunt. No, I'm not going to get hit by the frontal. I wasted my kick there. So I'm going to Vortex Typhoon this. No overlap. I'm going to in-cap that right there. Perfect. Nice. No ping issues. I have no War Stomp, so we're going to watch out for these kicks. I'm going to heal this guy. He has a defensive. Yeah. I didn't die there. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't even die once. I'm going to kick that. He was caught doing this a few months ago. Man, I'm just the sort of guy who... I like playing devil's advocate with anything... Yeah, I didn't die. I like playing devil's advocate. So whenever there's big drama and everyone is clearly taking one side of something, I try to think from the other perspective as best that I possibly can for what it's worth. But this one does seem kind of tough. It doesn't matter what it is, because I just don't like being tribal about anything. It's a particular dispassion of mine. Resto Druid in Midnight, Resto Druid. But both of them, those are like the 2 strongest healers right now, so both of them work, to be honest, just fine. How come we have extra percentage? What did I do? Oh, we had the first pull. Yeah. Having a neutral stance first. I'm an opinionated, passionate person. I have no problem having passion for anything that I believe in. But when I talk publicly about it, I just have such a problem because inherently I believe that the information we're fed about any major thing that happens in the world is colored and biased. And if you think it isn't, then it's difficult to have a conversation about it. Do you know what I mean by that, Enyo? Which is like somebody says, yeah, obviously this is clearly like biased and I'm not sure if I can trust it, but that thing is definitely not. And you're like, wait a second. Right. And it's just like, I have my own opinions, right? So like, here's the thing though. I have my own opinion, but when we're having a conversation about it, where'd you get your information and where'd I get my information is kind of something that I also like to ask. And people sometimes get a little offended. They go, you know, do you not trust me? Do you not, like, why are you asking? And I'm like, but this is an important conversation. Like, this is not a light topic we're talking about. So why don't we have like, where'd you figure it out? I don't think that's a weird question at all. I think that that's a pretty important one because sometimes, like, even about things like, I'm not just talking like obviously like world issues. I'm talking like even nutritionally, somebody will say, no, you got to take creatine. I'm like, okay, can I hear your argument as to why? And they say, yeah, Joe Rogan. And I was like, oh, hold up. Or they go this. And I was like, okay, so how many podcasts have you heard? They said, I've heard it from multiple sources. And I'm like, was it 3 podcasts? Or like, what, you know, like, where did you get the information from is an important question. Not to say that their information is wrong, because I guess if you hear it on 7 podcasts, it seems more legit. But it's just hard to really answer that properly. But it's from a debate team. Yes, exactly. And I also think that it's important to be able to argue both sides. Right. Because most of the time these days, you have no idea how often I work in health and fitness, and almost everyone gets their information from social media. Like, you know what I mean, though? But that's like, you can take that and you could say, well, creatine is crazy studied, and we have all this information. I say, okay, that's a little bit interesting. And we can have a conversation about it versus just saying not. But people will say the same thing about electrolytes. And electrolytes are, you know, depending on where you get your information, they're either the most critical thing for you, and if you don't take them, you're going to die of dehydration or whatever. And it's like, but my point is not to tell you whether or not you should take them. My point is just to say, it's hard to say sometimes whether, in today's world, I think it's more important than ever that we do have critical thinking. And goddamn, I could not imagine being you know, my grandparents' age and looking at Instagram. Like, I'm fucking cooked, man. How are you supposed to decipher information in the world of AI? And just not just AI, but also just mass posting, just like mass influence posting. Because it's not just, even before AI was rampant, which it is now, but even before that, we just had people, you could just make Instagram accounts and say whatever. And then if it looked good enough, people would buy it. That's not like a new invention. That's just, you know, it's really hard to know what to believe these days. You know, destroy AI, simple fix. I mean, it's hard. It's not, it's a very scary thing to me at the very least, because I value information a lot. Like, I value perspective a lot. And if there's one thing I don't like about the modern world, it's that people seemingly have lost perspective. They're very opinionated and have a lot of passion for what they're talking about, but they've lost perspective and application of knowledge. An example being, you could be fucking genius level IQ, but if you can't explain your information and actually use it to help people, then it doesn't matter how smart you are. You ever thought about that? You know, an example being, I studied physiology for a long time so that I could help people with their joints and their body, and now I'm in this position where I get to work with people and make a difference in their lives. But who the fuck cares if I can name their rotator cuff muscles? They don't give a shit. They just want to know what to do to help their shoulder pain. And that is absolutely valid. You know what I mean? Like, but like, I don't need to, I'm just showing off at that point, and I'm just doing it for my own ego if I start talking about the infraspinatus or whatever I want to pronounce it as. Like, it doesn't matter. This is like the, do you need them? Okay, why? But if you can't explain, well, I'll listen. Well, I mean, Jacob. That's a whole different conversation. But do you know what I mean? Yeah. We're just seeing it more these days. I feel like the amounts of information bias has been around for a long time, but we're just seeing it far more these days. Who make RAM? To be fair, if you're into PCs and gaming and stuff, I feel like you hate AI specifically because of the RAM conversation now. Like, I'm not even kidding. I really feel like that's why people hate AI right now. It's not even like this could really be absolutely terrible for the world. It's actually just like, dude, I can't actually pay for my new PC. Like, that's why everybody hates it at the moment. You're like, wait a second, I wasn't super against this before, but now I'm concerned. AI does a lot of good. And in terms of what has been AI, we've used AI for a lot of things that have actually really helped the world in a lot of ways. Well, he was there. I'm over here. He was fast, man. Man, how am I warlock get there? Cool. I think I could be good. I can't believe we're going to time this key, by the way, right now. I think we're timing this, and I played so poorly this key. This was not my best key. This was a pretty bad key, actually. AI is actually great. Just, yeah, I'll take it. AI, I mean, like, there's so much cool stuff that AI does that we couldn't even imagine. But, hold on, are we going to time this? Think about this. There's one more phase. I think we might get one more phase. Let's see how much damage we can do. And then we would have time to kill him right after the phase, though. I read an article the other day that said in the next 20 years you could have an AI wife. So it's not all bad, Jacob. Now you won't have to be lonely anymore. We're still chilling to hear Caleb modding all the time. And I'm tanking, too. Imagine I was DPSing. My only problem with DPS is that I'm going to die to a lot of mechanics, because I can soak stuff as a tank. It's tank privilege. So we're going to get one more phase, but if we just don't mess up this phase, then we're fine. I'm here, then. Go, 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 go. Don't mess up. Don't mess up. Lock in. Lock in. Don't miss. Don't miss. I bet. Jeez. My ego would handle being broken up with an AI. Dude, an AI broke up with someone? Holy. That'd be insane. I cannot believe. No way. Really? Imagine getting an AI, like, waifu, and then she breaks up with you. GG's. I played so bad. Everyone makes mistake type key. And I walked in. Imagine being so insufferable, a machine rejects you, getting unplugged. Right, for people who are in relationships, you read it because you're nosy like that. That checks out. They just think there's nothing wrong with them. That's intense. That is impressive, actually. Oh, he did, yeah. About getting rejected for a job or the reject shop. Don't remember if you responded. Was curious if you've played with any good Windwalker monks. Kilcha, yes. Throm, what's up? Sorry. SCP, you were asking. I missed that comment. Let me respond if you're still there. Wrestler Druid D tier. Mistweaver S++. Yeah, we'll see with tuning. Could you share your experience on class distribution on beta/prediction of it? Yes. Yeah, I can. You can't bring yourself to play any overplayed Specker class. Throm, are you still there? Because that's actually a good question that you've asked. At the same time, I want to play BM Hunter and feel that every second player is going to play it. I don't think so, because BM was recently nerfed, and it didn't necessarily deserve the nerf. So BM is a big numbers game. Like, Ret Pally will always have representation, even if it's mid. But BM Hunter, people play it right now because it's good. If it's not good, a lot of hunters actually like something like Marksman or even just won't. I don't think BM Hunter at a competitive key level will really be completely overplayed if it's not tuned incredibly high like it is right now, though. What's up, Malden? Survival seems to be pumping, though, at the moment. I don't remember if you responded. Was curious on if you played with any good Windwalker monks. Yeah, I've played with Dusk. There was a lot. I played with a few monks that were very good, but goddamn, their damage is just so bad. Og is looking good, but it's not going to be meta. I don't think. For Og to be meta, it has a lot of stuff, though. On pre-patch, its mid feels like... So survival is actually better, but I don't think that it will really be significantly better by the end, though. Yeah, 22 is cool. What 23 is it? A 23 streets. Oh, not bad. I'm doing meh. Ah, just meh today? I see. I think Arson's still going for a bit. Let me just double check what the plan is here. Me too, yeah. Nice. Mars? Yeah. Off. Nice clips. I'll have to tell you, because I haven't been around. I broke your leg. You broke your leg. Holy. Really? Have results 17 to 20. What keys have you not done over 17? There's one. What is it? I don't know. There's one key I never did. What? Hold it. Arakara, apparently. Cool. Did you win? You played tag with a car. I had a client referral yesterday where somebody messaged me and they were like, hey, they own a gym, and they were like, this guy came in and I told you I would, refer you any special cases. And he was like, maybe you can help him. I said, yeah. So I was reading about his case. And the exact line that was said to me was, this man has been hit by multiple cars multiple times and suffered significant spinal fractures. And I was like, bro, I'm not a miracle worker. Like, I can help people with their joints and their body, but there's a limit to what I can do, because I read it like twice. I was like, multiple cars multiple times. At some point, yeah, that's just unlucky, right? Like I don't know what he did for karma or something, but that at some point you got to ask yourself, why is this happening? Multiple cars, that makes it sound like there's more than 3. Like, twice is like, oh man, like this sucks. 3+ times? Like, maybe I need to help him with his balance or something. No, I can't take that client. But sure about what did the AI hate? Low-key, I feel like a lot of people have had that dream before, regardless. Must have been me. Jacob. I mean, I don't know, actually. That's interesting. Is the special embellishment belt good? You mean the adrenal surge clasp? You mean that one? Turns out, it's interesting. Chill with us. All right, I will not be releasing a video tomorrow. I'm off, by the way. Just remember, tomorrow I will be chilling. I need to actually chill tomorrow properly. That is the plan. That is the plan. Starting a woo rant. Oh, Harith was saying earlier. Super bummed about Quasi. Yeah. As a web developer, UI is so crucial to me. That is so interesting. I'm gonna have to make. Maybe I'll make a video about it. Is that? Wait. I know that's big WoW news. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to turn every single controversy and drama into a WoW video, but should I? Is that actually going too far? I don't want to be rude. That seems rude. Let me ask you a question. If I right now came out with a video, that's going too far, right? No, I don't want to do that. I thought about that for a second, and I was like, I don't think that's respectful. Seeing Affliction Warlock on top is quite the shocker. Yeah, well, first of all, the guy we're playing with SCP, that's Arson. That's not just any Affliction Warlock. He's incredibly good at the spec. Yeah, that's going too far. I agree. No, you're right. I don't need to do that. I know tomorrow what video I want to make. Tomorrow is going to be a spicy take. I've been thinking about this for a while. You could make a vid supporting him. So the thing is, Kariak, I've played with him before. Like, he's on my friends list. And I actually really feel for him. Like, I don't know exactly what the context is, so I don't want to say anything. It's just, it's tough out there for content creators. Like, you gotta try to do what you can do. And here's what you should know about me instead, bro. No, it's tough out there, and I think he's just trying to make a living. He apparently makes a much bigger living than I knew, but I didn't know. There's a crossroads that will become a womb in gold. A womb in gold. Holy shit. That's a fast track to get canceled. Can you imagine not being a womb in gold and still saying all that stuff? What do you think is it worth to start retail now? Not today. I would say if you're thinking about starting World of Warcraft, not today. Easy answer. No, I think it's a good time to level your characters now and just kind of get prepared and maybe get an idea of what you may or may not want to play for what it's worth. But you don't have to... Wait, what's this? What's cracked? Who plays Expedition 33? Hold on, wait. There's all these dares. I didn't even see these today. I would say... I would wait a few weeks, to be honest. Honestly. I think if you start now, it might be a little weird. I'm playing Classic, never tried retail. I'd wait. No joke. If you're actually not plussed about playing at this exact moment in time, I would wait. Believe it or not. Yeah. That's what I would think. That's what I think. Yeah. You know better than me? I'm just wondering if it takes a certain level of resilience. Like quitting because the internet is mad at you and it's affecting your mental health. I don't know. It depends if it's your source of income or not. You know what I mean? Like, I think that really matters, whether it's your source of income or not. Oh, I see. Dusk prepared. Owu plays Expedition 33. I was looking at the dare. I don't know if I want to play other games just yet. To be fair, Kariak, Harith, Lona, what would I play? Throm, SCP. If I was going to play a game that wasn't World of Warcraft, what would I play? Because this would be the perfect time. If I was ever going to try a game, it would technically be in between the midnight release. What's up, Heels? Oh, Heels, I didn't mean to get rage baited, by the way. I did not, by the way. I did not mean to get rage baited, but I just wanted to... I have a problem when people say that it's... You literally can't do the thing, you know? Like, it's absolutely shit to do the thing. And I'm like, that's not shit. Like, it's a less damage, but tank damage is pretty low right now on pre-patch. There's a dare up for Expedition 33. There was, I haven't accepted it. You know what I mean? I just have a small problem. Like, I'm not ever telling people that it's optimized or that you have to do it. I'm sort of a big believer that you should play WoW however it is you want to. And I think a lot of people don't actually care about getting 100 parses. They just sort of want a game. And if this build of Guardian lets you play like that, then you should be able to play like that. And it does work for what it's worth. Like, I don't have any aggro problems. I'm still gaming just fine. We just timed 22 Gambit with plenty of time left. I haven't played it myself. Thought it looked extremely cool. Pre-buy is probably the best time to jump in. I don't know about that, Siler, just because the community is a little off right now. I feel like if you wait just a bit, Marvel Rivals, Arcanum, Steamworks, Magic Obscura. There's actually a bunch of levels here. I feel like there's a bunch of options, but I just haven't, I'm just not, I don't know how to play other games. I just don't think I actually know how to play other games anymore. I just pretty much all I want to play is WoW. Pretty much all the time, you know? I'll send you the screenshots of his exact reply. Code copy. Who owns the right to put sugar in canned drinks? People have their eyes open when they choose how they want to play. That's what all I'm saying, by the way. Not addicted, by the way. You play, I think this is the best time. Everyone that's actually doing stuff around the game are the casual grinders. That's why I like beta, to be honest, though. Drawing ethical lines. I'm reading Quasi's response right now. If you guys want to see it, I don't want to bring too much drama because I'm, in general, supporting, but I kind of see what people are saying. This is his response at the moment. Let me move my camera. I'm actually reading this right now. I'm like bumping myself over here. He has a new one, even more than this. This is, where was the retiring post? I'm just reading this one now. Interesting. Tesla and BYD, are they the last one he said goodbye? No, I mean, I don't know how to say whether or not he is sent it to me. Okay, hold up. I don't want to screen share out of this. I'm always so cautious when I'm like window capturing Discord DMs. Like this, like I'm like shocked. I'm like, one day I'm gonna you know, seeing something that I, wow. He's offering refunds. Being in a near fatal car, what the hell? It's really good. How do I, it's quite low on here. There are more, farewell to those. Talking with your family. Damn. I mean, people on the internet are vile. Bro, Harith, people on the internet can be, who knows how many death threats he got. Like, who knows how many people literally were like, I know where you live and I'm going to come hunt you down. Like, you don't know we don't know. Like, it's very, like, you know, you really have no idea, I think, what he actually received as messages. And it could very much, yeah, like, yeah. I wonder what his plan is. What method of... Damn. This my retirement from WoW. We're all in it to see what happens? Yeah, maybe, is this actually, what if this was a whole thing, though? I kind of agree with that, though. Like, I actually think his content... I don't know if he is guilty as charged or not. Like, that's, to be fair, I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that because I don't know enough about coding and how all that works. To be fair, I really don't know, like, how accurate is the where do you draw the line part of this. I don't know is the problem. So I can't answer that fully one way or the other. I'm just seeing this. Not saying goodbye properly to the community. Oh, that's too zoomed in. I want to say thank you for the support over the years. Wow. Wow. Yeah. I mean, you have to use AI at this point, 100% though. They never proved evidence against him, so it's null and void. I mean, it doesn't matter. The thing about the internet is like you have to have incredibly thick skin, and again, I cannot even imagine the complete ridiculous, vile messages. All of his YouTube videos? What the fuck? No way. All of them? No. What? No. What? Holy shit! This feels too much. This feels more like an emotional reaction than a logical decision. To be fair, it seems like this is not smart. Like you make money from this. But he doesn't have to delete his videos. He can just leave them up. There's no harm in that, right? I mean, he just leaves them up. He doesn't have to make. I feel like this is a little bit too much. Just joining. Hey, Semi. Thank you for the birthday gift again, by the way. I don't think anyone's ever used that feature, and I really appreciated that. Quasi. This is Quasi, not just some guy. The Quasi. There's drama with him today, and apparently he quit WoW. This is privating all of your YouTube vids. There's no need for that. Yeah, I was about to say, like, this is a very emotional decision. Yeah, I wonder what... He's probably just done? No, I mean, like, I can appreciate being done, but you don't delete all your videos. But you would just not delete all your videos. That's insane. No, I get that he's burnt out. That seems like an overreaction, though. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, Heels. I hope so, too. Again, all I can say from my perspective is who knows just how many crazy messages he got from this. Because I get messages, and I don't even do shit. Like, I intentionally don't do anything. And I get messages all the time. I one time said hello in the Resto Druid Discord, shared a log, and got told that I should never have been born into this world. Like, the internet is filled with some pretty insane things, you know. Wow. Because you're the sugar to your drink. I mean, that response was pretty intense. Wow. I was not expecting that, man. People jumping at you, it gets crazy. I know you have to be able to have thick skin on the internet. He's probably getting... that's what I think, too, SCP. Like, that's what I was thinking. Like, you have no idea if people actually started whispering him and started messaging him, though. And they were just like, yo, by the way... Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. Like, death threats are just the start. Not just death threats, but people might have actually started whispering him, like, they, you know, doxing. Like, there's just so many things that happens on the internet that you really have no idea what happened or not happened. But that's pretty drastic. I mean, you don't gain a benefit if he comes back tomorrow and he's like, hey, guys, I'm sorry about this. Like, that doesn't help him, right? Am I correct on that? Am I correct in assuming this? I don't think that helps him very much. Like, this isn't like some weird drama move that actually serves as a big boon. Like, you create internet drama and then you come back from the internet drama and you're like, ha, psych. And then everybody's like, oh my God, who's this Quasi guy? Then they go click on his channel. Like, I don't think that's how, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's what's happening here. This seems more legit than that. But that is pretty drastic, man. You never know what things can spiral into. Honestly, yeah. Let's all before I actually end stream for today, because I'm about to end. Before I do that, and we go say hi to Arson, for what it's worth, no matter what your opinion is on this, and this goes for every single thing in the world, please. It's so easy to get tribal and to basically say you're wrong, I'm right, and you are even a bad person for having the opinion you do. Like, you don't know what's going on in people's lives. You don't know why they got to the place that they are in. No matter how negative you might feel like that is, try not to yell at people. Don't rage at people. There's a reason they think the way they think, no matter how stupid it might be, no matter how even, borderline malicious their behavior is. At the end of the day, they're human beings, and something happened along their road that created this. There's, I think, a very select few individuals who are just malicious by nature, and I think the vast majority of people just had something in their life that created the set of circumstances that they're in. You don't know what he has had to deal with in the last 24 hours, regardless of your opinion on the drama and all drama that happens on the internet. Do remember that people are people, and at the end of the day, I hope he's okay. I hope everyone's okay. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. His Discord's gone. His whole YouTube channel is gone. His website's gone. Who knows what happened? Only he will know. And that just seems tough. Yeah. I think that happens a lot. The internet pushed him to this. Well, we don't know the details. And either way, I just always kindness first and judgment later. Okay, that being said, I'm gonna end Twitch. We're head over to Arson. He's the warlock we were playing with, Giga Warlock. Chill guy. I don't think he deals with drama, so don't talk to him about it, I guess. But do ask him to see his cat, because his cat is super mega adorable. He has cute cats. Hi, Mucky. I'm just about to hear, though. Yeah, I'm about to end. I will upload a very spicy take tomorrow, potentially, for YouTube, but we'll see. Otherwise, no stream tomorrow. You can find me here if you'd like. I'll post some cute cat videos. Good morning. I am just about to end for today, but I will be no stream tomorrow. I am resting. I am taking a mental health day, speaking of the subject. See you guys tomorrow. Oh, wait, no. See you guys in 2 days. Haha. I'll see you on my Monday. All right, bye. Yo. Druid Keys today, man. Yeah. What's up, noob? Where's the spice? Dude, I have some spice for you. Yeah. Believe it or not. Warcraft. Hi, TH. Hi, Harith. I see you guys there. She's kind of over on his bed. There you go. It's a cute cat, man. He's a chill dude. I like Arson. I hope I can play with him, actually. SCP, you know what I mean? Yeah, no need for that. Yo, on YouTube, do you guys know who Arson is? I know you guys watch on YouTube, but out of curiosity, Ryan, like Dan, do you guys know who Arson is? He plays Affliction Warlock, and he's a really chill dude. I'm just gonna link you him anyways, because he's just cool. I think I might actually be on a team with him next season. Very potentially. I think that I might try to like team up, like actually play Mythic Plus with him for the whole season. I think that'd be really fun. Yo, hi people on Kick. I will not be here too much longer, but I will be here for a little bit. I see you guys come over. For me, if you ever want to hang out, by the way, and listen to the music that we're listening to, but you don't like ads on Twitch, you can always come here. I am also live to Kick. You don't have to if you don't use it. But actually, for what it's worth, man. Wait a second. What's this? Oh, yeah. Earlier. But yeah, the Kick has no ads. I think, I don't know if they'll ever put ads on Kick, but as of right now, they have no ads still. Anyways, for now, I'm gone. You might not see a video from me for like a day or two because I'm going to rest. We'll see. I have a spicy video perhaps coming afterward.